Hey, jingity jing, it's Dominic the donkey. Jingity jing, the Italian Christmas donkey. La la la.
Coming to you live from Stuart, Florida, the greatest little town in the world, it's the award-winning, critically acclaimed Get Up and Go show on AM 1450 WSTU. You're invited to call the show anytime at 772-220-9788. And now, broadcasting live from the Palatial Studios, here are your hosts, Evan and Bonnie.
And at top of the morning to you and yours and everybody else that's listening this morning.
What is this?
This is what's called a morning radio show.
Intensive good radio's preparation.
Yes, lots of preparation.
Is it over yet?
We haven't even started. I don't know what you're talking about. Time now is 6:07.
It's now 6:07 a.m.
6:07 a.m. on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. And of course, we start you with some music.
Hey, jingity jing, it's Dominic the donkey. Jingity jing, the Italian Christmas donkey. La 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 la. La 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 la. Santa's got a little friend, his name is the cutest little donkey. You never see him kick. When Santa visits,
that's Dominic the donkey. Starting off this morning. Yes, Dominic the donkey, Bonnie.
Yeah, this takes us way back when, and we used to play it at the music radio station, of course.
Yeah.
One of those, old-time kind of Christmas classics. People have fun with that one every year.
It reminds me of a song that Joe Dolce used to do. Remember Joe Dolce?
I don't recall.
Called "Shut Up in Your Face."
Oh yeah.
Do you remember that song?
That. Yeah. What's the matter, you?
Yeah.
What do you think you're doing?
Yeah, exactly.
And then he goes, "Oh, shut up in your face."
Yeah, shut up in your face. You know.
Wow.
Yeah.
Joe Dolce did that.
Yeah, Joe Dolce did that.
Definitely remember the song. I don't remember the artist.
Yeah,
of that one.
Joe Dolce did that. Hi, good morning. You're on the radio.
You think you're funny, huh? You think you're funny?
Yeah, I think I'm funny. I know I'm funny. You know what I'm talking about, eh? You know?
Yeah. Hey, so what do you want, huh? I'll see you at 9, right?
I guess you see me at 9. I guess you'd be here with Denny. I got to run, though, because I got like 9,000 things going on this morning.
All right, so bye.
All right, bye. All right. Very good.
So he's going to be gracing us with our presence again.
I
A
guess.
little bit right around 9 o'clock.
Yes, around 9 o'clock.
Oh, it's nice to see
I'll
Charlie.
make sure I'll make a beeline for the door before he gets
Oh,
here.
no.
No, I'm just kidding.
No, we always look forward to seeing him.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that was a popular song back in the day. Shut Up in Your Face.
It was. I can't even really recall the year that it came out. I want to say, I think, I think I might have still been in high school. Maybe in
I used to
some
love
of my
that
high
song.
school years in
That
the
was
80s.
that was like a major novelty song back in the day.
It
was like really, really, really popular.
Another one, well, this is like sort of a Christmas one, is the Old Lang Syne.
Yeah. Here it is.
When I was a boy, just
I love this song. This is great.
Mama used to say, don't stay out late with the bad boys. Always shoot the pool. Giuseppe going to flunk a school.
Giuseppe going to flunk a school.
Boy, it make me sick.
I have to wait till the chorus comes. I have to at least let it get to the chorus, because that's the best part about the song. Is where he goes, what's the matter you? Hey, shut up in your face. Here we go.
What's the matter you? Hey, got no respect. What do you think you do?
I tell you, get no respect, Bonnie. No respect at all.
You sounded like Rodney Dangerfield.
I tell you,
just
get no respect.
when you said that.
Hi, good morning. You're on the radio.
I get no respect. You know, I called AAA and they towed me away, okay?
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my gosh. Wow, you're up early. What's going on, Phil?
I'm driving back from Georgia to Florida
Oh.
right now. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. You had the big graduation. Your son graduated college.
Yes.
Wow. What
Yeah.
degree did he have?
He has a degree in film and television.
Wow.
A degree with it. So he did 4 years of studies, Phil?
Yes, he did.
So there were-
And he got magna cum laude, too.
All right.
What's magna cum laude?
It sounds like very intelligent. He reached a very intelligent level.
There's summa cum laude, which is your grade point average.
Sounds like
over,
a cocktail at a bar.
3.8, and then he got magna, which is over 3.5.
So he's a brainiac, basically.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Okay.
So.
All right. Very nice. Very nice. We'll see. We say congratulations to Philip Jr.
The third.
Oh, wow.
I'm the junior. Yeah.
Wait a minute. How many Philips are there in your family?
There were 3 at one time. So
Why'd they
there was
name
my
me-
dad, who was senior. I'm the junior. My son's the third.
So why did they name everybody Philip? Couldn't they pick a different name?
I don't know. I got named Philip, and I decided to do the same thing, kind of get a dynasty going, I guess.
Oh,
you could say.
okay.
So,
I don't presume you have a top 10 list from the road, do you?
oh, well, how am I going to do a top 10 list driving on the road?
It's called off the top of your head. Get it? Top 10 list.
No, I can't.
Do top 10 things you see in wintertime as you're traveling from Georgia to Florida.
There you
But
go.
you know what's funny? It was so cold here.
How
There was
cold?
ice
Wait a
on-
minute. Hold on.
No, there was no joke. It was actually, but there was ice on my car.
Really? Did
Yes.
you take a picture
I
of
have
it?
never seen. Yes, I did actually.
Okay.
I've never seen ice on my car ever in my entire life.
Was it actual ice that you had to chisel, or was it just a little sheet of a wispy
It was
ice?
like a little sheet of ice, and then stupid me, like, oh, I'll hit the windshield wiper fluid. That didn't work. And then
No, because that's the worst thing to do.
yeah. And then once I got the car going and heated up while I was putting the luggage in the car, it went away. So it was
Wow.
yeah.
That's something I don't miss growing up north, and you would come out in the morning. There would not only be maybe 2 or 3 feet of snow piled on top of your car, which you had to take a broom after and broom it off. Sometimes there would be an entire sheet of ice. So you just go and start the car up and put on the defrost until all of that starts to nicely melt off with a smile.
It was literally 31 degrees when I got up this morning.
Oh
Ooh.
my. So
Yeah,
you know
it was so cold. I saw a rat throw himself into the deep fryer at McDonald's.
oh, that's old Joe. That's an old Joe. You've already
I
told
know.
that one 7 times on the show.
Yeah, well, there's the 8th
There's
time.
the 8th
okay?
time.
There
So
you go.
listen, speaking of cold windshields and things like that, they say that if you have ice on your windshield, you should
Yeah.
never ever throw hot water on the windshield. Worst thing to do.
Really?
Yeah, because it'll crack the windshield.
Oh,
Yeah, the chemical reaction. It'll literally crack your windshield.
wow.
I never tried that before when I was
Well,
up north.
We,
So
we
thank
don't have
goodness
that we
I
don't
never
have that
tried
problem
it.
down here. Thank the Lord. Well, every now and then, once in a while in December, it's gotten, pretty cold down here. A couple of years ago, it got like down to the upper 20s, lower 30s in Port St. Lucie.
I remember it getting, I think the coldest I remember is getting it down to maybe 30 something.
Mhm.
And the first year I came here, it was
Mhm.
40 at night on the beach at
Mm.
Hutchinson Island. And people were complaining because it was cold. And I had just come from Wisconsin.
Yeah, tell them to go to Wisconsin. That's
So
what cold's
I
all
didn't
about.
feel very cold. Now I can feel it, after being down here for a while. I must be conditioned to Florida
Oh.
weather.
Whoa, you all right there?
Yeah, did you hear that?
Yeah, I did.
Something hit my windshield.
I heard.
Wow.
I heard that.
Wow.
Something went I heard a clank.
Yeah, that was something. I don't know what it was. It hit my windshield. That
Well,
was crazy.
is there splatter on your windshield?
No,
Okay.
no possum or anything like that.
Okay, just want to make sure.
That
All
was.
right.
But I did learn there are two types of cold. There's wet cold and dry cold.
Oh, what's the difference?
I guess a wet cold's colder actually, and it's like it goes through your skin like knives almost.
Mm-hmm.
Where the dry cold is kind of more what we get down in Florida when it gets a little chilly sometimes.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, yeah, I learned that from the ex-wife.
When are you expected to go across the Florida border?
I do not know yet.
Okay.
I know I'm supposed to be in Florida around probably around 3:00 after I stop for breakfast and lunch.
It
and
takes
gas
you
and all that.
6. It takes
So.
you 6 hours to drive from Georgia to get across the Florida line. What do you go to Turtle Space?
Are you like way up north in Georgia? Actually,
I
Georgia's
was northeast of Atlanta.
it's a pretty long state, actually.
Okay.
It once you start driving north and south Georgia, that's long, and then by the time you get to the Florida border, you're going a sigh of relief because you're at least in Florida. But it does seem like it takes forever to get back down southeast here.
Mm.
It's
Yeah,
a
it's
long.
an 8.5 hour drive.
Okay.
So.
Well, when you get into Florida, stop and pick me up some oranges, okay?
Oranges.
Yeah, pick me up some
Of course,
oranges.
you didn't ask for like Georgia peaches or.
No, I want some oranges as you cross into Florida. They have a welcome center there, and they supposedly have the best oranges in town.
Okay.
So pick me up
If you
some
say
oranges.
so.
Yeah, pick me up a couple of oranges. And as you're driving south to Palm Beach Gardens, you can just stop at the 9 household on your way.
I've tried to get some Georgia. What do you call it? Pecan.
Okay, well, those can go to Rachel.
Those in. Yeah, but
Those
I
can
didn't
go to
get any.
Rachel. All right.
So.
Well, listen, safe travels. Thanks for calling.
All right. Well, no
And
problem. Guys.
Congratulations
Talk
to
you later.
your son again.
Bye.
All right. See you later.
That's
Bye-bye.
great that he's graduated.
Yeah.
And sounds like he's very smart in his class. One of the
TV
smarter ones.
TV and production and stuff like that.
4-year degree.
That's pretty cool.
Uh-huh.
That could turn into a great job.
I can't wait to see what kind of remarkable future this boy has and
Yeah.
learning the things that he's going to be accomplishing.
He can walk into a TV station now with his degree and get a job as a producer. Just so many different possibilities right now.
An editor.
Yeah, editor, producer.
He could go to Hollywood and become one of those editors on movies even.
I mean, he could the possibilities are endless.
You just
with
never
that
know.
kind of a degree.
Walt Disney World might, productions,
Now,
a
there
lot
you
of
go.
producing over there.
I'll take a job in Disney any day.
Oh, yeah.
Man, I'm getting my Disney fix.
I would, I guess I would like a job there, but I think I would not enjoy the commute. How I'm talking to people that lived in the Orlando area and how it's just getting crazy.
The I-4 corridor is ridiculous.
It is.
To drive on I-4 up
Yeah.
there is like driving now in Miami.
Evan,
Yes.
every morning too, I look at that traffic report and the cluster of accidents that you see on I-4 over there,
Yeah.
like compared to I-95 and our turnpike over here in the morning. No, the last couple of mornings we had a couple of bad accidents out on I-95. But I'm telling you, you look at I-4 in the morning and there are just clusters full of accidents.
Even at like 2 p.m. or 1 o'clock in the afternoon at lunchtime, I-4 is just ridiculous up there.
Yeah.
It's just crazy. East west both. It's just, but then again, there's so many tourists that are in town for vacation, no matter what time of the year it is you go. I-4 is always busy.
You can't believe how many people, like I've even talked to on my massage table, that came here and they moved here from the Orlando area, and they just like are glad to get out of that area
Yeah.
because it's better driving over here. But we're seeing our share of heavy traffic lately too.
Yeah, well, all the snowbirds are down here now. No disrespect to them, but they're just the snowbirds are down here in town, so we're getting a slight influx of traffic. 6:20 on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's Thursday edition. It's time for news brought to you by Joint Chiropractic. Come visit now in Port St. Lucie at the shops of St. Lucie West. Here's Bonnie with the morning headlines. Good morning, Bonnie.
Good morning, Evan. Days after former Martin County Sheriff's Deputy Stephen O'Leary was ordered to prison for 13 years, he's facing a federal lawsuit filed Tuesday by more than a dozen people he either falsely arrested or wrongly accused of drug possession, court records show. O'Leary, age 31, during a December 2nd sentencing, was found guilty of 50 felonies, including multiple counts of official misconduct, falsifying arrest affidavits and statements, false imprisonment, tampering with evidence, battery, and petty theft. O'Leary in court told his sentencing judge an addiction to drugs motivated him to falsely arresting dozens of people on drug charges during 2018 traffic stops. He was fired from the sheriff's office in January 2019 following records show during his 11 months working at the sheriff's office made 89 drug-related arrests. Records show he arrested 26 people accused of having drugs on them who either did not have the actual amount or type of drugs O'Leary said they did, according to his arrest warrant. In one case, the substance was a powder commonly used to treat headaches. Another was a sand-based material having no presence of any illegal narcotics. After deliberating for 5 hours over 2 days, jurors Wednesday in Orlando recommended the death penalty for a man convicted of killing an Orlando police lieutenant 4 years ago. The 12-member jury agreed with prosecutors that Markeith Lloyd should face capital punishment for the 2017 shooting death of Lieutenant Deborah Clayton. She was killed as she tried to arrest Lloyd outside a Walmart store for the fatal shooting of his pregnant ex-girlfriend. Lloyd has already been convicted of first-degree murder for killing his ex-girlfriend, Sadie Dixon, and her unborn child. The jury in that case recommended he be sentenced to life in prison. A train belonging to Florida's higher speed passenger rail service struck and killed a man walking on the tracks just weeks after the company reopened from the pandemic. The Brightline train struck the pedestrian Tuesday morning in North Miami Beach as the man didn't move as the train sounded its horn, officials said. North Miami Beach police did not immediately return a call Wednesday seeking further details. The death is at least the 49th involving a Brightline train since the Miami to West Palm Beach line launched in mid-2017, and the first since it reopened last month. After a 19-month closure due to the pandemic, a Brightline train on a July test run fatally struck a bicyclist. A tall sailing ship built more than 100 years ago has arrived in Miami as part of an environmental expedition that will end in 2023. The Statsrad Lemkul is 321 feet tall and is based in Norway. The three-masted vessel is equipped for research with instruments that measure levels of carbon dioxide, ocean temperature, and other data. Its passengers are students, scientists, and other professionals assisting in the journey. The ship was to be moored in Miami until Friday, when it will continue its journey to New York. Well, lastly, you might have heard about that plumber who found cat in a bathroom wall of Joel Osteen's church in Houston. It's connected to an alleged theft of $600,000 that happened at the church in 2014, and it's not clear who put it there. But the story only broke after the guy talked about it on a radio morning show in Houston. big reward for finding it, but Crime Stoppers of Houston initially refused to pay up because there was a 5-year limit on coming forward. And this is pretty awesome, though. The radio station kept ragging on them, so there was backlash on social media, and now Crime Stoppers is giving the plumber 20 grand. When Aaron Rodgers last saw the Chicago Bears, he was telling them and their fans at Soldier Field about the power he held over them with his memorable "I Still Own You" boast following his touchdown run in another Green Bay Packers victory. Now, 8 weeks later, they meet again Sunday night at Lambeau Field. Yes, they do. When asked whether he expects any trash talking or retribution in return from the Bears players, he made a point to say he directed it toward the fans who were giving me the bird. Rodgers has won 5 straight against the Bears and is 22-5 overall as a starter against the Packers NFC North rival. Our news time 6:25. We hear weather and traffic together next.
6:26 on the Get Up and Go Show, 26 minutes after the hour of 6 a.m. on a Thursday. It's time for traffic and weather together. Bonnie?
Well, we're looking at a clear ride right here. So far, so good with our major highways. Everything moving up to speed this morning. If you see traffic, let us know about it at 220-9788 at 220-WSTU. 68 degrees this morning in Port St. Lucie, and in Lake George, New York, a chilly bones, 24 only. Here's our weather at WPTV.
Your WPTV First Alert forecast calls for temperatures this morning in the mid to upper 60s and some patchy fog for the morning commute. This afternoon, highs in the mid to upper 80s, mostly sunny skies and feeling muggy with more humidity. Tomorrow, another round of fog in the morning with temperatures to start in the mid to upper 60s and afternoon highs in the low to mid 80s. A few passing clouds for your Friday forecast, but staying mainly dry and muggy. For the weekend, morning lows in the upper 60s to low to mid 80s, plenty of sunshine and low rain chances. A cool front moves in, not much change in our temperatures, highs only down a couple of degrees, but lower humidity for Tuesday and Wednesday.
I'm WPTV First Alert meteorologist Katya Hall on WSTU AM 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
If you have a suggestion for the show, we would love to hear from you. Send us an email to WSTUmorningshow@gmail.com. Now let's get back to the Get Up and Go show. Here's Evan and Bonnie.
I really can't stay.
Baby, it's COVID outside.
I've got to go away.
Nope, it's still COVID outside.
It's
Kids,
nice.
by nice, we stayed home and we ordered a
My mother will
pizza.
start
Because
to
the numbers
worry.
are through the
And
roof.
Father will be pacing the floor.
Because he's in the high
So
risk
really,
group.
I'd better
Nope,
scurry.
all of the parties are
Well, maybe just to have
canceled.
a drink more.
That would be your 5.5
The neighbors
drink.
might think
That we've all died in here.
6:31 on the Get Up and Go show. That's a parody of Baby It's Cold Outside. It's called Baby It's COVID Outside. Yes, Baby It's COVID Outside. We're still talking about COVID 2 years later, but that's okay.
But not as COVID as it was last year.
No, not as COVID as it was last year.
Yeah, that's
or the
for
year
certain.
before. It's getting better. Getting better slowly but surely. Let's do some viral videos. I've got one this morning, and it's a teenager who filmed himself surprising his mom by playing his trombone at the oddest moments. She seems a little bothered at first, but by the end, she's about having as much fun as the kid is. Listen.
Don't even do that.
The kid's funny. He's trolling his mom everywhere she goes. Literally.
Enough.
Everything she does, he trolls her and makes trombone sounds for everything that she does.
If I were that mom, that would be driving me crazy.
Man.
I would be like, go back to playing your video games for a little while and just leave me alone. Or go do something constructive like clean your room or something. And if you want to play that darn trombone, practice it outside for now. There's me as a mom.
Yeah. Now, here's something funny. You'll I don't know if you'll find this amusing or not, but I do. I think it's hilarious just because I'm mean. When Darren, my oldest son, was in middle school, he took up an instrument to play in band, and it was the baritone. Now, the baritone is a combination of like a trombone and a tuba. Okay.
It's a mix.
It's right in the
it's
middle.
a hybrid.
It's right in the middle.
Yeah.
So what he did with this baritone, okay, Bonnie, he brought it home and he was so proud of himself that he learned how to blow into it and make it make sounds. Okay. So what he did was he wanted to, I made a suggestion to him and I says, why don't you call your mom and why don't you play it on the phone for her? Okay. So, and he has no idea why I'm doing this. Okay. Because we don't really get along. Okay. So she gets on the phone.
Yeah.
And he goes, hi, Mom. And they talk. And he says, I got my instrument today at school. And she goes, oh, okay. What'd you get? He goes, the baritone. She goes, oh, do you know how to play it yet? And he goes, yeah, I do. Would you like to hear it? And that was like music to my ears. So we took the cell phone and we dropped it in the baritone.
Oh, my goodness.
And Darren hit this godforsaken note.
Oh, my gosh.
That was so bad that I cried.
And was it
laughing.
loud? Was it very loud?
It was more than loud. It sounded like an elephant in heat.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah. It was bad. And as soon as he hit the note, you could hear somebody screaming from inside the baritone.
From inside the baritone.
Inside the baritone. Because the phone was in the baritone.
Okay. And
on speakerphone.
you could hear the wife screaming.
You could hear the ex-wife. You could hear her screaming at the top of her lungs.
No.
Stop! Stop! Stop!
That had to be a double super bad sound.
Oh, I was so happy. I could not be more elated.
Oh my gosh.
At that time. It was hilarious.
Were you just not getting along a little, or were you really, really not getting along? I mean, you had to be getting along some to even have her on the phone, right?
I can't begin to listen. I never prevented my kids from talking to their mom.
Sure.
Because I raised them as they grew up with myself and Rachel. And they want to talk to their mom. They could call their mom anytime they wanted. I had no problem with that. He wanted to play his baritone for his mom. I was all for it. I even promoted it. I said, please call her quickly. And my mind is just going 1,000 miles an hour.
And she probably told him, when you come over, please never bring that baritone
Thank
over.
you very much. There you go. And he was like, oh, but I want to bring it over and play for you.
Don't just leave it at Dad's house. Really, it's okay.
But if you could have heard the scream come out of the phone inside the baritone.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it was hilarious.
I've always had respect for, people that join the high school band and respect for those that go out and march in that band. Like even in the Stewart Christmas parade, one year it was particularly, it was pretty cold to be down here in Florida, and during that parade, the kids have to go out and blow on those instruments.
Now, you know who I have a whole lot of respect for when you speak about band members, Bonnie?
Who's that?
Is the bands that have to march in like the Macy's Day Parade, Thanksgiving Day Parade, and things like that, because that's where it's super, super cold.
It is. And they have to have some talent. They have to be very good, I'm sure, like to get in that parade, be known kind of nationally for their school band. And the performances this year were spectacular, I thought.
Yeah, all the bands were fantastic.
Yeah.
On TV. They really, really were. The floats were great. Just everything in general. Everything in general was fantastic.
And the cheerleaders got to get out there too in their little uniforms.
Little cheer uniforms. And
Yeah.
oh my.
I would go run several blocks before I stepped foot in that parade, I guess.
I was reading one of my publications the other day, and I came across the top 5 things that really annoy Santa Claus. The top 5 things that really annoy and tick off Santa Claus. So I'm going to read them and share them with the listeners. I think it's kind of funny. Coming in at number 5, when people hand Santa a bowl full of jelly and ask him to shake.
That's cute.
Okay.
I love that.
That's coming in at number 5. Coming in at number 4, the official elf basketball team is in Santa's sleigh, even though they're 0-3023.
Oh. Santa doesn't have some spectacular players there.
No.
Coming in, replaced by Herbie the dentist or that sort of
I
elf.
like that. Coming in at number 3, in somebody's house, he found whoopee hearts on the fireplace. Whoopee hearts.
Whoopee hearts.
Whoopee hearts.
Why am I not getting this one?
Because you know what a whoopee cushion is?
Yeah.
Well, it was whoopee hearts instead. So when he chewed on the candy, it made that noise.
There you little go. Blasting going.
Yes.
Like little pop rocks in his mouth.
Coming in at number 2, things that really annoy Santa Claus: children that sit on his lap have not been potty trained yet.
Oh.
That is disgusting.
I wonder if I'm sure that's happened at the mall with a mall Santa, though,
Yeah.
I'm sure that has happened before.
I will say this much. After I read number 1, remind me to tell you about Mall Santa.
Mrs. Claus has to send him down another tailored suit.
That or a set of Depends,
to
one of the
change.
two. And coming in at number 1, when the elves swap out his beard cream for Nair. Yeah.
And then he has no beard
And
anymore.
he's got no beard left.
He's Santa the balded chin one. I
Now,
wonder what Santa would look like under that beard if he didn't have a beard.
don't know.
Still strikingly handsome.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
Santa is very handsome.
Now, remember we were talking about a mall Santa many years ago when I lived down in Broward County and I was really down on my luck. I had just lost my job. Things were not great. DJ business wasn't doing good. The mall in Coral Springs was hiring a Santa Claus. And guess who applied and got hired?
You did? You really did?
Yep.
What year was
True
that?
story. I want to say late 80s.
Was that one of the really big malls down by Fort Lauderdale?
No, it was the Coral Square Mall. Coral Square Mall.
Yeah.
Off of, I want to say Atlantic Boulevard or somewhere in that area. It's down in Coral Springs.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I was hired to play Santa Claus.
Cool. How long did you do it for?
I did it for the entire Christmas season.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I was one of 2.
Did you have one of those little elves with you too, or a couple little elves at the mall? No?
I had to take and put white stuff on my mustache, white stuff on my eyebrows, and then I had to put on the fake beard.
Yeah.
Okay, which was the most uncomfortable thing in the entire world.
Oh, I bet you got itchy. And
itchy was an
how did
understatement.
You, go from itching that thing all day?
Itchy was an understatement.
Yeah.
And then on top of it, I had to put the Santa suit on. And because I was skinny, they didn't want me looking like an anorexic Santa Claus.
Oh.
So I had to put a pillow underneath.
Yeah.
And to sit for 8 hours with a pillow in a red suit and no fan blowing on you.
Weren't you able to get up and take a 15-minute break
Nope.
here and do
it was constant.
Should have been the
nonstop.
rule. You can.
I got 30 minutes to go eat some cookies and milk.
Oh, okay.
That was it. And that was an experience that I will never forget. And yes, I had many, many children that had soiled diapers on my knee.
You should have stopped by Ruby Tuesday to have a cocktail. Did they have anything in there like Ruby Tuesday?
I needed more than a cocktail, trust me. I needed some Santa nip is what I needed.
So there really was that sort of thing really does happen.
It was true. It happened.
Wow.
I had kids at least once a day. I had a kid on my lap that I could feel the moist when they sat down.
Does
literally.
anything, do one of their wishes strike you? Do you remember a particular wish that a child had that they wanted to get for Christmas, or anything that might be etched out that was big?
Not really, but one thing they told us, like things to say and not to say. Never promise a child a gift that Santa will bring it to you on Christmas Eve.
Do you say, I'll try to see what we can do?
They said Santa will see what he can do for you. You never talk about if the person has been good or bad, especially if they've been bad. You can ask the child, have you been a good girl or a bad girl? Have you been naughty or nice?
Yeah.
Or things like that. Just certain things. It's like you go to Santa School 101.
And how long do you go to that Santa School for? Like 1 hour before you go out there?
It's just 1 week.
Okay.
A couple of hours each day, and they just kind of teach you. They teach you Santa etiquette.
I'm sure there has to be. You're dealing with little kids, and it's that's a very serious matter.
And man, the line was long. It's oh my gosh.
It reminds me the line was pretty long last night at Burlington too.
Was it?
Everybody and their grandma was out holiday shopping, I swear.
No
But the
kidding.
nice thing about Burlington, they have 3 or 4, maybe 5 even counter people, and they keep that line moving right
they're
along.
usually pretty good.
You're
about
not
stuff
waiting
like
long.
that. That's a good thing. Time now, 6:45. News time brought to you by St. Lucie Jewelry and Coin for the best deals in town, especially this holiday season. Make it St. Lucie Jewelry and Coin. Here's Bonnie at the news desk with the morning headlines. Good morning, Bonnie.
And good morning, Evan. You know, it was another busy night for SpaceX.
3, 2, 1, 0. Ignition. Liftoff. Go Falcon. Good hunting. ISP.
At 1 a.m. Eastern Time, a Falcon 9 rocket blasted off from Cape Canaveral, carrying NASA's X-ray spacecraft into orbit. It will study phenomena such as black holes and neutron stars. A Vero Beach man is accused of pouring gasoline on a property and setting a home on fire with a blowtorch, according to the Indian River County Sheriff's Office. WPTV's Ryan Hughes was at the home last night and has this report.
That's right. She is thankful she was not home at the time. And she tells me her daughter's boyfriend is the one now being accused of using a blowtorch to set this home on fire. Take a look. Even in the dark, you can see there is extensive damage. The windows have been blown out and the side of the house just completely charred. Investigators say the suspect did all this knowing that a dog was inside. But tonight, that owner telling us she is so thankful her dog was saved. More than 24 hours after being rescued and pulled from this burning home, 14-month-old Rusty is keeping guard in the front yard as his owners try and salvage anything they can inside.
It's just been a nightmare.
Sandy Underwood and her fiance have called Caribbean Circle and Vero Beach home for years. But Sandy says on Tuesday afternoon, when they left to get a tire fixed for their truck, her daughter's boyfriend, Travis Pippin, snapped and set the house on fire.
They've not had a good relationship, and he wasn't allowed on the property, which made him mad. It just escalated, I guess, to this.
Investigators say Pippin poured gas inside the garage and around the carport, then set the home on fire using a blowtorch, knowing Rusty was still inside.
Why did you burn that place down?
They also say Pippin was caught on video by a neighbor.
When I came up the hill, I seen a big old fire.
Neighbors tell us they raced next door after seeing the home engulfed in flames.
I busted the windows out in the back of the house because I didn't know there was anybody in there because I seen the vehicles there.
Sandy says the home was filled with family memories. They were able to save a few pieces of furniture, but the house itself is a total loss.
The house was full of momentums from his mom and dad, his deceased son, my mom and dad, both my deceased brothers. One day at a time is the way we're going to have to take it right now.
And the sheriff's office says a neighbor tried to stop Pippin, but we're told he is also accused of trying to throw gasoline at them. A canine and its handler were from Sebastian police were able to track him down fairly quickly. Tonight, he is facing a long list of charges, including arson and animal cruelty. Ryan Hughes, WPTV, News Channel 5.
Carol Jenkins Barnett, a philanthropist and daughter of the founder of Publix Supermarkets, has died after a battle with younger onset Alzheimer's disease. She was 65. The Florida-based grocery store chain said in a written statement that Barnett died Tuesday in her home surrounded by family members. Barnett was the former chair and president of the company's charity operations. The daughter of Publix founder George W. Jenkins, Barnett was born and raised in Lakeland. She began working with Publix in 1972 as a cashier in her hometown and later worked in the company's corporate marketing research and development department. A memorial service will be held at First United Methodist Church in Lakeland on December 11 at 11 a.m. A state ethics panel found probable cause Florida's agriculture commissioner violated the law by failing to initially disclose more than $400,000 in lobbying income while announcing a bid for governor. The Florida Commission on Ethics announced the findings against Nikki Fried on Wednesday, but a spokesman for Fried, who is a Democratic nominee for governor, called it nothing more than a political smear campaign. Evan Power, chairman of the Leon County Republican Party, filed an ethics complaint in June after Fried amended her 2017 and 2018 disclosure of financial interest to show she earned more than what was previously disclosed. Before becoming agriculture commissioner, Fried worked as a lobbyist for the medical marijuana industry. Freed joins former Governor Charlie Crist, who won office as a Republican, became an independent, and later became a member of the Democratic Party, and State Senator Annette Taddeo, who was Crist's running mate in their failed 2014 gubernatorial bid as one of several Democrats challenging DeSantis in 2022. The Martin County Sheriff's Office is now facing a federal civil rights lawsuit. 14 victims of former Deputy Stephen O'Leary are involved in the complaint, saying they want more than just O'Leary to be held accountable for their false arrests. WPTV's Megan McRoberts with the story.
Just a week after former Martin County Deputy Stephen O'Leary was sentenced to 13 years in prison, dozens of drug arrests, 14 of his victims are prepared to take him back to court, this time filing a federal lawsuit against O'Leary and Martin County Sheriff.
Claim to really right some.
Attorneys Jordan Wagner and Lance Richard are representing the victims, alleging multiple civil rights violations. 5 of the 14 told us they spent anywhere from hours in his case 3 months when he never belonged there.
He was facing in prison with a maximum of up to 30 years in prison.
Bradley had laundry detergent in his car, but O'Leary lied and arrested him on charges for trafficking heroin.
I didn't think it was actually happening until I was in jail.
Stuck $500,000 bond.
My job was taken from me. My social life was kind of ruined, and I did not look great at all in my family's eyes.
Dylan Felt spent 50 days in jail when all he had on him was headache medication.
I mean, at one point, the guy goes, "Hey, look, get this." He says that it's aspirin, not ecstasy. Ha ha ha. You're looking at 20 years, buddy. Ha ha ha.
The attorneys say the lawsuit aims to bring financial relief to the victims. Some, like Sam Palmieri, have spent tens of thousands of dollars rebounding from the arrest. What they say is a more systemic problem in the agency and an environment that allowed this behavior to go unchecked.
I think if you talk to all the victims in this case, there were always other officers on the scene. They were all belittling or high-fiving each other when they would arrest these individuals. It was an atmosphere where this behavior was encouraged, where arrests were encouraged for promotion. You know, maybe his direct actions may have been an outlier, but the environment that produced it was not.
Sheriff Snyder released a statement saying, although it is not our practice to comment on pending litigation, I will say I stand behind the integrity and professionalism of my deputies. It is my hope that the community will recognize this case as outlier behavior and know that their trust in us is important to me and paramount to keeping our community safe. Megan McRoberts, WPTV News Channel 5.
And lastly, NASCAR is joining an effort to get more kids vaccinated against COVID. The NASCAR Foundation, One Daytona, and Advent Health are teaming up to hold a pediatric vaccine clinic for those 5 to 11 years old. It takes place Saturday in Daytona Beach. Tiger Woods said Wednesday he will play with his 12-year-old son Charlie next week in the PNC Championship. Although it's been a long and challenging year, I'm very excited to close it out by competing in the PNC Championship with my son Charlie, Woods tweeted. I'm playing as a dad and couldn't be more excited and proud. The 36-hole event begins December 18 and is for major champions and a family member. Last year, Woods and Charlie tied for 7th. It was the last time he played competitively before his February 23 car crash that had him hospitalized and led to months of rehab for his right leg and foot. News time is 6:54. We have weather and traffic together coming up.
6:55 right now on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for traffic and weather together. Bonnie?
Well, as we're bringing up this latest highway traffic report from FHP, let me see here if I can, as I'm getting the results of our latest traffic report. Just having some technical difficulty this morning bringing this up. We're not finding any accidents to report as of now, including the major highways. US 1, it's looking good. If you see something, say something, do tell. We're at 220-9788, 220-WSTU. It's 71, cloudy this morning in Stewart, and in Limpio, Paraguay, it's a balmy 76 right now. Here's our weather at WPTV.
Your WPTV First Alert forecast calls for temperatures this morning in the mid to upper 60s and some patchy fog for the morning commute. The highs in the mid to upper 80s, mostly sunny skies and feeling muggy with more humidity. Tomorrow, another round of fog in the morning with temperatures to start in the mid to upper 60s and afternoon highs in the low to mid 80s. A few passing clouds for your Friday forecast, but staying mainly dry and muggy. For the weekend, morning lows in the upper 60s to low 70s, afternoon highs in the low to mid 80s, plenty of sunshine and low rain chances. Monday, a cool front moves in, not much change in our temperatures, highs only down a couple of degrees, but lower humidity for Tuesday and Wednesday.
$6:59 on the Get Up and Go show, or WSTU Stewart, Martin County's Heritage Station. And we'll let you listen to a little bit of the late, great Regis Philbin. And Baby, It's Cold Outside. Take you right into the news. We'll be back.
This evening has been
hoping that you'd drop in.
Nice.
I'll hold your hands. They're just like
My
ice.
mother will start to
Beautiful.
worry.
What's your hurry?
And father will be pacing the floor.
Just listen to that fireplace
So
roar.
really, I better scurry.
Sweetheart, what's your
Well,
hurry?
maybe just a half a drink more.
Put some records on while I pour.
Neighbors might think.
But baby, it's bad out there.
Say, what's in this drink?
No cabs to be had out there.
Coming to you live from Stuart, Florida, the greatest little town in the world, it's the award-winning, critically acclaimed Get Up and Go show on AM 1450 WST. Call the show anytime at 772-220-9788. And now, broadcasting live from their palatial studios, here are your hosts, Evan and Bonnie.
And a happy Thursday to you and yours as we get closer and closer to Christmas.
Now, somebody's not telling the truth here.
Yeah, I know. What can I say?
Thanks, guys. This really cheered me up.
I'm glad it did. That's why we're talking about Christmas.
I'm done with you. I never want to speak to you again.
Whoa, that's pretty harsh on this show. It's 7:07 this morning.
It's now 7:07 a.m.
7:07 a.m. on the Get Up and Go show.
This is the time of year that we learn to give, and the greatest gift is in learning to forgive. We will have the best time that we ever knew if you forgive me and I forgive you. I don't wanna light a fire.
That's the sounds of the boy band In Sync, and I don't want to spend one more day without you. Referencing Christmas as we creep closer and closer to Christmas Eve, which is going to be happening 2 weeks from tomorrow night, right, Bonnie?
That's right.
Wow.
And then,
Can't believe it.
Then you go on vacation from a week from Monday, don't you, Evan?
Yeah, a week from Monday. Week from this Monday. Man, can't believe it. It's going to be happening.
It's coming
I'm
around
excited.
again. And, once Halloween gets here for me, or once September pulls in and then we make it through Halloween, it all goes by so fast after that.
It's all uphill,
Yeah,
as they say.
because you're keeping busy. You have to do things to make that holiday special for everybody that might be coming over, or you might be the lucky one and going to someone's house. And you can just bring a dish or a bottle of wine.
Well, like tonight, we're going to my oldest son's brand new spanking house.
Oh, my
They
goodness.
finally completed the build after almost a year.
Well, congratulations.
They
to
moved
them.
in over the weekend.
Now, this is the one with a little baby on the way.
Yes, and one grandchild already there.
Yeah.
So we're going to go over. I told them, listen, we'll come over tonight. Pick a night. We'll come over. So I said, why don't you guys come over Thursday night? And I said, I'll order pizza in because I know you guys, your whole house is in a shambles right now. So we're going to have a little pizza
Little pizza get together, and why not? Because, sooner or later you're going to be eating the holiday food. It's either probably the prime rib or the ham. We just got through with turkey.
Yeah.
Got to mix a little bit of that good Italian cuisine in there.
We threw out a lot of leftovers in our fridge last night. We had mac and cheese and ham that was in there from like almost a week ago.
Oh, man.
Yeah, we had to get rid of it.
Oh, yeah.
It was standing up sideways.
It
just wasn't good.
Yeah, mac and cheese being in there a week, you're not even going to doctor that up with anything.
There's no possible way.
It doesn't make sense. You might as well make something fresh.
When I took it out of the fridge and went to put it down the garbage disposal, it was like a brick.
Wow.
Yeah, it was that bad.
I actually made a huge baked ziti this week.
Really?
In one of those huge tin pans.
Okay.
So there's a lot of it in my refrigerator yet. I suppose you can freeze that like you would lasagna or anything else.
Ziti's like that's a great way to get to my heart is through any kind of red sauce food.
It's easy to make too. It's like super easy to make. And you can make a lot of it.
I made something last night for dinner. I got creative for the first time. And I was craving like red sauce, but I didn't want to cook anything. So what I did was I got a couple of English muffins out, sliced them in half, turned on the oven at about 375 bake, put the English muffins on a pan, opened up a can of Prego, put some tomato sauce on them, and then sprinkled some shredded mozzarella cheese.
Sounds like you made your own mini pizzas there.
That's exactly what I did. And boy, were they good.
We used to do that when we were kids, only we would do it with plain old bread and call it pizza bread.
Yeah.
And we thought that was the best thing of just, putting that Italian sauce on a slice of bread
Mhm.
and doctoring it up with some mozzarella cheese.
I was
don't think I'd
in
want
heaven.
it now. Maybe on a bagel or a muffin, like
I
you
was
said.
I was in heaven.
Yeah.
Man, it was good. It was good. Let's do birthdays. If you're celebrating a birthday today on December the 9th, we say happy birthday to you and yours. Bonnie, what do you got over there?
I guess I'll say a happy early birthday to my brother Bruce up in
Okay.
northern Wisconsin.
Very good.
He has a birthday in December.
Now, is that your younger or your older?
Older
Okay.
middle brother.
How many siblings do you have?
3.
3.
Yeah.
Okay, very nice. Well, happy birthday, Brucey boy.
Brucey boy.
Brucey boy, cousin Brucey.
I have all brothers.
All right, very
no
nice.
sisters,
Wow.
sister-in-law.
So you know how my daughter felt.
Yeah,
3 boys and a girl.
yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You were always the butt of all the jokes, I bet, right?
Sometimes.
Teased on you once in a while.
Sometimes, and
Gotcha.
sometimes I tease on them,
Okay.
so I bring it back.
That's
but
right. You held your own very well. Excellent.
I try.
I'll wish a happy early birthday to my oldest son, Darren. Going to be 30. Let me think for a minute. 32. 32 years old.
Yes.
I had to think for a minute.
Yeah. And
32 years
yeah.
old.
And he's the twin, right?
No, he's the oldest.
Why do I
The
keep
twin is Dylan and Haley.
Dylan and Haley?
Right.
Because I keep
And then
thinking,
Gavin's the youngest.
I keep thinking the twins are the boys and
Yeah.
Haley's
No.
out in the cold.
Well,
but
you
no,
may as
Haley
well
is
be
one
a-
of the twins.
May as well be a boy.
I
the way
don't
she
know.
is.
I never met Haley. So.
Oh, wait till you meet her. Oh, wait till you meet her.
Is she even more boyish than me?
Oh, yes. Wait, are you kidding?
I'm kidding. I'm not that. I used to be a tomboy, and I
Yeah.
have little tomboy tendencies, but
I showed you pictures of her.
yeah,
Rock, stock, barrel, the whole 9 yards.
she could take on
An army.
She could have taken on Moose
Yeah,
the other night.
exactly. Simon Helberg, 41 years old today. That's Howard Wolowitz on The Big Bang Theory. Jesse Metcalf from Desperate Housewives in Dallas is 43. Rico Aylesworth is 49. That's Michelle Dresser on 24. Trey Cool is 49, the Green Day drummer. Jacob Dylan is 52. That's Bob's talented son. Bob Dylan's talented kid.
I like his song that he had one headlight that
Mhm.
came out with the Wallflowers.
Yeah, he's the lead
had.
singer of the Wallflowers.
Yes, and yep. And I
Double-
looked him up. He looks a little bit like his dad.
WWE superstar and gold medalist Olympian Kurt Angle, who competed in the Olympics with a broken neck
Did he
and won a
skate?
gold medal.
Did he ice skate in
He
the
was
Olympics?
he was a wrestler.
He wrestled
He was
with
a
a
wrestler
broken neck.
with a broken neck.
Really?
Yes,
How
in the Olympics.
world does one do that?
Don't
Wrest-
know, but he
with,
got a gold medal though.
That sounds like out of this world.
Superman.
His neck must be, even though it was broken, I bet there's like a wide girth on that neck.
Oh
eh?
yes,
Like
he
a
literally has no neck. If
like-
you saw him,
like a tree trunk or something.
it's
underneath.
huge. It's huge.
Yeah.
Felicity Huffman. Felicity Huffman is 59 years old
She's
today.
from the Desperate Housewives,
Yes.
and she was
Mhm.
the one that first came out that was
Yes.
in the school
And
scandal.
see who's calling me on my cell phone?
Oh, I do see.
Yes.
He's
So-
calling you already.
And I can't take the call because I'm on the air, but if you can hear me, shoot me a text message.
How old does Felicity?
Felicity
turn
Huffman is 59 years old
59?
today.
And
Yes.
she I think she paid a little money or something under the table with that
Mhm.
that school scandal that
Mhm.
went down to get her kids into university.
Mhm.
But I kind of like the way she handled that in the
Mhm.
past, and she kind of came forward and pled guilty right away,
Mhm.
and admitted to her mistake
Mhm.
for her daughters.
Yes,
and she got
definitely.
the deed done. I think she spent a couple of weeks in,
Yep.
in prison.
This guy is celebrating a birthday. Boy, does this take me back, Bonnie. Come on. I know you know who this is.
Oh, with happy music like that,
Yes.
it must be done.
Come on, Bonnie. I know you know who this is.
Yeah.
Who is it?
Young Donnie Osmond.
Yes, a very young
How old does
Donnie
how
Osmond.
old does he turn today?
You ready for this? He is 64 years old.
Yes, he still has
Wow.
that. Yeah, when you see Donnie on TV, often he still has that kind of like boyish look on him.
Yeah.
too. He still kind of got that boyish face.
Yeah.
Well, Marie has it too. Marie is just incredible. I mean,
Uh-huh.
with her weight loss and all her energy, and man. So
Yep.
Donnie.
Yep, definitely so. John Malkovich is 68 years old. Michael Dorn, 69. That's Worf on Star Trek. Dick Butkus, remember him?
Yeah.
Great linebacker, the greatest linebacker ever. 79 years old.
Wow. I was going to guess him at 64 right now.
Yep.
Boy, does time fly.
Mm-hmm. Butkus, 79 years old today. Bo Bridges, Jeff Bridges' brother, is 80 years old today. Wow.
Bo is it's a little bit like an older brother. I think that's Jeff's older brother.
Mm-hmm. Kirk Douglas celebrating birthday in the heavens. In 2020.
He lived to be
away.
like 99.
Yep.
Passed away. Yeah, Kurt Douglas passing away just last year.
Mm-hmm. Today is National Pastry Day, so make sure and go out and get a pastry. It's also Christmas card day, so make sure and buy a Christmas card.
Do you buy those? Do you send those out
No,
anymore?
I don't do that. I haven't sent Christmas cards.
I feel funny about it because once in a while I get a Christmas card and then I feel guilty that I don't send them out anymore.
Don't. Send one digitally. That's all.
That's so impersonal, isn't it?
No, not really. Everybody does that.
I
Hi,
don't
good
know.
morning. You're on the radio.
Good morning.
Hey, what's up there, sunshine?
Not much.
What are you doing?
Making my way to work. It was
All right.
a coffee day.
All right. That's right. It's Thursday. It's your coffee day.
Did you try any of the Victor Allen that I gave?
I did. I tried one yesterday morning.
How'd you like it?
It was definitely strong.
Isn't it good? Yeah. I'm drinking some right now, Rachel. I really enjoy this Victor Allen.
We got
coffee.
a visitor.
And Evan's going to go get the door. It's like Mr. Rogers. You're going to open the door. I think he's going to take off his shoes first. Okay.
Yeah, well, it's funny because Evan didn't even tell me. He sat him by the my Keurig.
Joe's here.
So I saw him. I was like, oh, this must be from Bonnie. He's like, oh yeah.
Yeah. It's very rich, isn't it? I think it's just
It is.
delicious. I want to try their other flavors. Oh,
Oh,
good
they've got
morning.
other flavors?
Good morning, Joe Catchin.
Yeah, Joe Catcherbone's here from the chamber. He just walked in. He brought goodies. Man, I love this time of the year. People bring us gifts. Wow. All right. Well, we're going to let you go, hon. Have a great day at work.
Okay, love you.
And don't forget, we got a pizza party to go to later at Darren's house.
Gotcha.
All right. Talk to you later. All right. Let's get to news. Got to take care of business. 7:19 on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for news brought to you by Joint Chiropractic. Visit them now in Port St. Lucie at the shops of St. Lucie West. Bonnie is standing by with the morning headlines. Good morning, Bonnie.
Good morning, Evan. NASA is launching a new X-ray telescope to study black holes. The satellite blasted off from Cape Canaveral at 1 a.m. Eastern Time atop a SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket. A scientist says the mission could help them understand how black holes and other remnants of exploded stars produce X-rays.
3, 2, 1, 0. Ignition. Liftoff. Go Falcon. Go hunting. ISTE.
The Martin County Sheriff's Office is now facing a federal civil rights lawsuit. 14 victims of former Deputy Stephen O'Leary are involved in the complaint, saying they want more than just O'Leary to be held accountable for their false arrests. WPTV's Megan McRoberts has the story.
Just a week after former Martin County Deputy Stephen O'Leary was sentenced to 13 years in prison for faking dozens of drug arrests, 14 of his victims are prepared to take him back to court, this time filing a federal lawsuit against O'Leary and Martin County Sheriff William Snyder.
We filed this claim to really right some wrongs.
Attorneys Jordan Wagner and Lance Richard are representing the victims, alleging multiple civil rights violations. 5 of the 14 told us they spent anywhere from hours in jail, or in Bradley Martin's case, 3 months, when he never belonged there.
He was facing a minimum of 3 years in prison with a maximum of up to 30 years in prison.
Bradley had laundry detergent in his car, but O'Leary lied and arrested him on charges for trafficking heroin.
A lot of disbelief. I didn't think it was actually happening until I was in jail.
Stuck in jail with a $500,000 bond.
My job was taken from me. My social life was kind of ruined, and I did not look great at all in my family's eyes.
Dylan Felt spent 50 days in jail when all he had on him was headache medication.
I mean, at one point, the guy goes, "Hey, look, get this." He says that it's aspirin, not ecstasy. Ha ha ha! You're looking at 20 years, buddy. Ha ha ha!
The attorneys say the lawsuit aims to bring financial relief to the victims. Some, like Sam Palmieri, have spent tens of thousands of dollars rebounding from the arrest. But it's also to shine light on what they say is a more systemic problem in the agency and an environment that allowed this behavior to go unchecked.
I think if you talk to all the victims in this case, there were always other officers on the scene. They were all belittling or high-fiving each other when they would arrest these individuals. It was an atmosphere where this behavior was encouraged, where arrests were encouraged for promotion. You know, maybe his direct actions may have been an outlier, but the environment that produced it was not.
Sheriff Snyder released a statement saying, although it is not our practice to comment on pending litigation, I will say I stand behind the integrity and professionalism of my deputies. It is my hope that the community will recognize this case as outlier behavior and know that their trust in us is important to me and paramount to keeping our community safe. Megan McRoberts, WPTV News Channel 5.
A jury in Orlando is recommending the death penalty for a convicted cop killer. The panel had earlier convicted Markeith Lloyd of the 2017 shooting death of Orlando Police Lieutenant Deborah Clayton. The shooting occurred on the first anniversary of her wedding to Seth Clayton.
I can't put into words what she meant to me. And to be taken away like that so sudden, it's hard for anybody.
The final sentence will be up to the judge. A woman had been arrested after breaking through a gate and driving through the Grand Harbor Golf Course in Vero Beach Tuesday afternoon, according to the Indian River County Sheriff's Office. The incident started shortly after 1 p.m. in the Waterford Lakes community of Vero Beach. The Sheriff's Office said the driver, identified as Jody Ann Harvey, age 60, of Vero Beach, drove through the Grand Harbor Golf Course gate and onto the course. Deputies attempted to pull her over, but she did not comply, which prompted a pursuit that ended with a pit maneuver. No injuries were reported, however. Harvey was transported for medical clearance before being booked. Authorities said Harvey's vehicle and 2 Sheriff's Office vehicles sustained damage. She faces charges that include aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, DUI, 2 felony counts of criminal mischief, aggravated flee, elude, and aggravate on an officer, firefighter, EMT. Harvey was booked into the Indian River County Jail without bail. Lastly, for just $100, Florida will acquire Scripps Research Florida assets, including 3 buildings in Jupiter, 70 acres of vacant land, and other assets and liabilities upon the integration of the nonprofit's biomedical operations with the state university's academic health center's research operations next month. The Los Angeles Chargers could be without both their top receivers heading into Sunday's game against the New York Giants. Mike Williams, who is second on the team with 854 receiving yards and is tied for the team lead with 7 receiving touchdowns, was placed on the team's reserve COVID-19 list Wednesday, along with cornerback Chris Harris Jr. News time at 7:25. We'll have weather and traffic together next.
$7:26 right now on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for traffic and weather together. Bonnie, how's it looking outside?
Well, Evan, it looks like there's another fog advisory to the north of us once again this morning on the Turnpike northbound up in the Fort Pierce area by the Drum Plaza, the Service Plaza. There's a little bit of fog in that area So it's looking like, yes, use some caution if you are headed north. Also, I-90 northbound, the Indiantown Road area, we are also seeing fog reported down that way too. So a couple of travel advisories. So just keep your headlights dim, drive with caution. That's your latest look at traffic. Cloudy sky in Jensen Beach and 71 right now. Over in St. Pete Beach, it's 68. Here's our weather, WPTV.
Your WPTV First Alert forecast calls this morning in the mid to upper 60s and some patchy fog for the morning commute. This afternoon, highs in the mid to upper 80s, mostly sunny skies and feeling muggy with more humidity. Tomorrow, another round of fog in the morning with temperatures to start in the mid to upper 60s and afternoon highs in the low to mid 80s. A few passing clouds for your Friday forecast, but staying mainly dry and muggy. For the weekend, morning lows in the upper 60s to low 70s, afternoon highs in the low to mid 80s, plenty of sunshine and low rain chances. Monday, a cool front moves in, not much change in our temperatures, highs only down a couple of degrees, but lower humidity for Tuesday and Wednesday.
I'm WPTV First Alert Meteorologist Katya Hall on WSTU AM 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
If you have a suggestion for the show, we would love to hear from you. Send us an email to WSTUmorningshow@gmail.com. Now let's get back to the Get Up and Go show. Here's Evan and Bonnie.
7:30 on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. And as always, it's our astute pleasure to have this gentleman in studio today. He surprised the living heck out of us. My phone was going off and I thought something was wrong. He was calling my cell phone. I'm thinking, all right, he's not going to make his interview this morning. Then I texted him and I'm like, I didn't get a reply. So I'm thinking something's up. And then all of a sudden I hear this at the door. I'm like, wow, somebody's trying to break in. And then all of a sudden it's Joe Catcherbone and he's here with us in living color. Good morning, Joe.
Good morning. I didn't think you wanted me to come in this morning. I was banging and knocking and calling.
This place is like Fort Knox around here.
Sometimes we just got to keep the door open because we forget that people could come in
Yeah.
once in a while, and especially when we're expecting you maybe around the season, and I think Taryn too.
Yeah, Taryn's due for a visit.
She might be visiting us like next week or the week after. So
Yeah.
Sorry we didn't have the door.
Yeah, I apologize.
Open for you, Joe.
If I'd have known you were going to be here, for gosh sakes, I would have had the red carpet rolled out, the stanchions up, the paparazzi here, everything.
That's why I didn't tip you off. I didn't want you to go through all that trouble. I thought I'd just surprise you.
Well, Joe heads up the Stuart Martin Chamber of Commerce right down the road from us, literally. And I say this every single week. If you have a business and you're looking for exposure, if you're looking for networking, and if you're looking for endless possibilities, Joe's organization is where you need to be. And you don't even have to be have your business in Martin County. Your business can be anywhere, literally, and you can just sign up for the networking. And they have breakfast, they have business after hour. It just goes on, doesn't it?
It does, and we continue to try and offer more things because we realize it's amazing. People just like to get together. When we had a lunch yesterday at Mariner Sands, we had about 100 people there, which is unusual for this time of the year because everybody's so busy and everything.
100 people.
Yeah, and so everybody was festive, and it was great. And we had a great program. I've talked about our Career Connect Martin that we're introducing in January.
Right.
And we had a gentleman, and his name escapes me, but he came here from Orlando to talk about recidivism in the prison system. And so with our Career Connect Martin, one of the areas we're going to be targeting is second chance employees.
Oh, wow.
And this gentleman he was well dressed, a suit, very professional, and he told us he was a felon.
Wow.
He was a convicted felon, and when he couldn't get a job, he was a professional. He didn't get into what he did, some kind of a fraud, and you would have never known that. We were shocked when he said, "I know because I am a convicted felon."
Turned his life completely around.
Yeah.
Wow.
And now he's the executive director of this organization.
Love it.
Who helps these second chance employees. And we are going to be focusing on some of those because, we've got under 4% unemployment in Martin County.
Yeah.
So we really don't have unemployment.
I think more people should really get educated on that, because I'm sure like when an employer does look at somebody's resume and maybe even sees that dark mark as convicted, they oftentimes can't really go in and look of what it really is, or some might turn the cheek and say, I don't even want to look, or give this person a chance.
Everybody deserves a second chance, and look at that guy's a perfect example.
Oh,
Literally.
We had people come over. He sat at our table with us, and we had people coming over after saying how proud they were of him, and how courageous it was for him to get up there and speak about
That's
it.
amazing.
Talk about it. But
Good stuff.
Human nature being what it is, we hear an inmate. What do we think of the first thing?
Yeah.
A murderer or a robber or a rapist or things of that nature. So, unfortunately, that's where your mind goes. And then someone like this just totally changes your whole view,
Yeah. Love hearing stuff like that. Love hearing
it's great.
stories like
Yeah,
that.
really
You have a
great.
calendar in front of you.
Yeah,
which means you have things we're going to talk about. You came prepared.
Well, really, we're closed between Christmas and New Year's. So
Okay.
it's a short month. So we've only got 2 events left. We've got a breakfast next Tuesday at the VNA.
Okay.
And that's always very festive, obviously. And then our business after hours of the year is always in December. And it's always at the Marriott Beach Resort, Hutchinson Island Marriott Beach Resort and Marina. And
One of my favorite places.
Oh my God.
Love that place.
They have sushi. They have carving stations. It's
Love that
outside
place.
around the pool. I think we talked about this before.
Yes.
So even if it rains, there's a covered area.
Yeah, there's a big covered area. I've been there dozens of times.
it is-
Beautiful place.
I got a market to go on like a mini vacation there one of these times again.
It's a great place.
Just at the bottom of the second bridge if you're going towards the ocean. Right there on the right-hand side.
beautiful, and it's a
Yeah.
great venue. They
Yeah.
do such a great job, and they're so good to us. And,
Mhm.
as I said, it's our most popular business after hours. Even we probably won't have 300 people like we had at the trade show.
Oh,
'cause
my.
it's different.
Yeah.
But we'll have 100, probably
Yeah.
150
Yeah.
people at the
Love
business
it.
after hours.
It's
Love it.
impressive that you can get that number of people out this time of year.
Yeah,
You know, like you
yeah,
did 100 at your last
Mhm.
one.
What's the date on that one again?
That's the 15th next week.
Okay.
Next Wednesday
Okay.
night.
Very
And
good.
then of course we're closing on the 23rd
Mhm.
at 4:00, and we won't reopen again until January 2nd.
All right. Very good.
So
Very good. And then you'll be with us, of course, again next Thursday.
next Thursday.
But then
and
the following
Christmas week,
Thursday,
we're off.
Christmas week, you're
Right,
off. Right.
right.
Exactly. Exactly. Any new businesses signed up recently?
You know, it's amazing. This time of the year again,
Right.
starting before Thanksgiving, you have people saying, "Oh, let's wait till after the holidays."
Right.
And we're saying, "Oh my God, still
Right.
Thanksgiving's not even here yet."
Right.
And like Bonnie was saying earlier, in September, she starts thinking about Christmas.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And so Amy had 4 appointments canceled last week,
Oh, wow.
saying, let's wait till after the holidays.
Okay.
So what can you do?
All right.
So yesterday alone, she brought in 3 new members.
Oh, my
So-
gosh.
and
She's like a machine.
she is. And as luck would have it,
Mhm.
technology is wonderful when it works.
Yeah.
Well, she was trying to send me the emails and they wouldn't go through.
When
I
it
did-
works.
So I don't have a report for you today.
Okay,
but
all
I
right.
can tell you we have 4 or 5 new
All right.
members.
Well,
this week.
congratulations.
Yeah, now
Welcome.
We'll talk about them next week.
Yeah, definitely.
It sounds like she was anticipating like maybe people can't do this, and Amy's probably a numbers kind of girl too, and like, well, let's work on more.
Yeah.
and,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
to
yeah.
assure that
Exactly.
some more come in.
Well, Joe brought gifts this morning. He brought Dunkin' Munchkins, which, this is like near and dear to mine and Bonnie's heart. We
Yes.
and then there's a gift here. So do you mind if we open this on the air?
Go ahead, Evan.
All right, let's see here. I'm gonna
It's
do
a
the
pretty
I'm gonna
gift
do
wrap.
the I'm gonna do the card first.
Well, I know you guys like the little munchies.
I'm
Oh
gonna do the
yeah.
card first.
Once in a while, I will do a donut in the morning. I had one of those Jupiter donuts last week, and my oh my.
My God,
I
they are wonderful. I love their jelly donuts.
Yes.
Oh, this is so nice. Wishing you love and happiness to fill your heart this Christmas. The Catcher Bones, Joe and Barb.
That's
Very
very
nice.
Yeah.
Very, very nice. Very nice. So put that right there.
We had there were like a few Barbaras in our family, including my mom. So I always grew up around that name. Does she go by Barbara?
Or well,
Barb.
Oh
Barb.
boy, Bonnie. Oh boy.
Oh, more
Look at
deliciousness.
this. Chocolates. Oh boy.
Yeah. No,
Boy, you know how to get to my heart and
that's what we
Bonnie's
wanna
heart.
do.
Milk and dark chocolate. Oh boy, Bonnie, we are in deep doo-doo right now.
Evan, you want probably like 5 of those.
Oh my
I'll
gosh.
take 5 or 10.
Wow.
Should I open it now, Joe, so you can delight in some with us?
Oh boy. Let
you
me
can open it.
let me get a
Sure.
scissor. Wow.
Oh yeah, that
This
goes.
is crazy.
So to
It's
answer
gonna-
my Barb goes by Barb.
Barb.
mostly, but
That's
yeah.
people used to call my mom Barb.
Family and old friends say call her Barbie. So somebody, she answers the phone and says Barbie. She's going, uh-oh.
Very few people called my mom Barbie.
Yeah.
It was always like Barb or Barbara.
Sugar coma twice in 1 week. This is not good. Wow. All right, let me get this plastic.
That's
off
going to
here.
go good with my
They
dark,
wrap it
rich
like they
coffee.
don't want you to get into
I
it.
know you need instructions on how to
Yeah.
do this. Okay. So oh look, they even okay,
Oh,
good.
yeah, it tells you what's
Oh good.
where. Yeah,
This
both
is
layers,
good
both layers.
because the ones that say peanut caramel,
It gives you a little itinerary.
I can't touch.
of where you're going to go with those flavors.
Yeah, I can't touch certain ones.
Oh yeah, peanuts. It's good that.
So there's the
they're
chart.
probably good that there is for you, Evan.
All right, so here, Bonnie.
And
I'm
I
gonna
can take either one.
wait a minute. Hold
So
on.
I'm just gonna
Here, look.
grab this perfect, delicious round
Which one? You got the third one. You got the coconut cream.
All right. Very good.
All right,
like
so-
an almond joy.
All right, so let me put this
Only it
little
doesn't have nuts.
Yeah, it's about like it.
put that diagram
You could
right
eat
there.
this one, Evan. It doesn't have nuts.
No. Okay, so let me turn it around so I can see.
My favorite are the dark,
Okay.
dark chocolate
Um,
caramel.
you got the coconut cream. There's a there's a chocolate buttercream.
That's
which
pretty
is
good too.
this
Oh,
one
that
right
is
here.
a good one. Oh, that looks like a dark chocolate buttercream.
Yeah, this is the one I'm
Yummy.
gonna do. I'm gonna taste the chocolate buttercream. Joe, you gonna grab one?
Joe,
No,
yeah,
I'm
you-
not.
You sure?
Yeah, I'll pass. Thank you.
All right.
I don't
all
think
right,
Joe has his
all
breakfast
right.
yet.
Is it
No,
okay
I
if I
did,
do
yeah, I
this?
did.
Is it okay if I do this on the air?
Sure.
Oh my God. Barney,
Those are delicious.
wow. I'm in heaven. This is some good stuff. Who needs breakfast when you got this?
Have a little
Man.
chocolate with your eggs and
Oh my God.
sausage.
Wow.
Oh,
Chocolate's good anytime.
Joe, this goes good with my coffee from Victor Allen. Have you heard of them? It's a Wisconsin brewed coffee.
No, never heard of it.
You can find it at Big Lots right now. It's one
Is
of
it-
those rare finds at Big Lots.
What's it, canned or bagged? Or?
It's from a coffee pod in my Keurig.
Is that what you give my wife?
Oh, it's pods. Oh, okay.
That's what you give my wife, right?
Yep.
She had this coffee that it's I forget what it's called. The name of it.
Victor Allen.
The Victor Allen. And one of them that she drank was like drinking high test gasoline. Honestly, it like wired you, right? It was so strong.
This is called the Seattle Dark. It's
Mhm.
really dark and rich. And
So she sent some home with me to give to my wife. My wife tried it yesterday morning. She called in this morning to the show and said that it was like really strong. They like really wired her. And she told me actually that last night when she got home.
Oh wow.
She said the coffee Bunny sent was amazing. And it was so strong. I was like so wide awake. Like bam.
Well, we use Folgers.
I like Folgers
But,
too.
but we have a like a Mr. Coffee type pot.
Yeah, yeah, I do
So
that
I
in
have
the
a
pot.
I have a cup of coffee at home with my breakfast, and when I get to the office, I have a couple of espressos. So I usually have about 3 espressos
Oh,
before noon.
geez. Wow.
But your day
I
does.
stay wired.
Your day probably doesn't end till maybe 4 or 5,
See,
well,
I
7
could
o'clock.
I could see Joe being the new spokesperson for Mr. Coffee.
Yeah,
Because remember when Joe DiMaggio used to do the Mr. Coffee commercials? Good old Joltin' Joe.
Long time ago.
Long time ago. I could see Joe Catcherbone being the new spokesperson for Mr. Coffee.
Yeah, that would be good.
After he retires from the
That'd
chamber.
be a good gig. That'd be a good gig, wouldn't it?
Get coffee for life. I'm telling you. Oh my Lord. So let's give out the most important information, Joe, is your contact information. If people want to reach out to you to become a member of the chamber, what do they need to do?
Well, please call me at 772-287-1088. My
Mhm.
extension is 108. But anyone can help you if when the voicemail or the machine answers, press
Mhm.
0 and you'll get right to one of our staff.
All
or you
right.
can go to our website,
Mhm.
stuartmartinchamber.org.
Okay. All right. All right. Very good. And while we've got you here in studio, anybody you want to wish a Merry Christmas to, say hello to, or give a shout out to? It's very rare we get you in here.
Yeah, well, obviously, I wish everyone a happy holidays, Merry Christmas,
Yeah.
Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, et cetera, et cetera.
Mhm.
So we wish everybody happy holidays for sure.
All right. Very good.
And
Wow.
happy holidays to you
Yeah.
and Barbara and
yes,
family.
Yes, you, Barb, and the family, the extended family at the chamber, and everybody that works so hard there. I don't know everybody's name, but I just know that everybody, your staff, they put in 150% all the time.
Yeah,
It's-
I call them the dream team.
Yeah.
They are. They really
Yeah,
are.
and they really truly are the dream team. They do such a phenomenal job, and I saw them in action at that event that I partook in that just recently that I did.
Holiday
and
trade show.
Yeah, the holiday trade show, just how they interact with people and personally escort people around, and it's wow.
Well, and they
It's
work
wow.
as a team too. If there's if someone needs help, even though Amy's our membership salesperson,
Yeah, yeah.
she'll jump into events and help out with the events. And
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
but they're all Angela's the same way. Of course, Angela is the operations manager, but
Mhm.
she's everywhere. She's anybody needs help, she
Yeah.
jumps in, and
Yeah.
it's truly a team effort. Everybody, and it's all for obviously for the benefit of
Yeah.
our chamber members, because that's
Yeah.
what we're about. We want to help our members.
Definitely so. Definitely so. Well, Joe, listen, Bonnie and I can't thank you enough for stopping in this morning.
No, it's my pleasure.
It's such a great partnership that the radio station has with the chamber, and we always enjoy having you on every week on Thursdays at 7:30 to catch us up to date. And we have to get the Morning Joe back in swing after the holiday season is done.
Yeah, Evan, the COVID is what made the Morning Joe go, because no one could meet. So the only way they could meet was via Zoom.
Yeah.
And so now it's in line.
People are like back out meeting again in person.
We were getting 22 participants.
Yeah, I
at one
remember.
time.
I remember.
I think the last time we had 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I think maybe we'll give it one more shot in January. We'll kick it back up in January. You guys can put out see if we can do it. We'll see what happens, and if we get a good response. If not, then we know there's more normality coming back where people are actually face to face.
I saw something really great on Facebook yesterday. Someone said, if you want to get rid of this new strain, what's the new strain?
Omicron.
Said, turn off the television.
Yeah, and that's true. That's true. And you know what? I really don't even pay it. I don't even pay attention to that stuff anymore. It just doesn't. I'm so over it now, and it's just. We just got to be careful. That's all. Just
use some common sense.
Bingo. You hit the nail right on the head.
And the good thing about COVID is it cured the flu.
Yeah, it did. It did. Because you don't hear nothing. You hear no news about the flu. Anything. Right?
Trying for years to get rid of the flu.
They got rid of it.
Here you are.
Something new came along.
It's been so long since I've heard of someone having the flu.
I know.
You're right.
And it's funny. I was just talking to a friend of mine the other day. I know we got to get to news, but I was just talking to a friend of mine the other day, Bonnie, and him and I agreed on this. This is the longest we've ever gone without catching a cold. Because of all this cleanly safety measures that we all take nowadays. When was the last time you can remember you had a cold, or Joe? Do you remember?
Not
right? It's crazy.
Mine was 2 years ago, and it was late in May. It was like in May and June a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I got
laryngitis. It was a mild one.
I had laryngitis about a year or so ago. Yeah, but it wasn't even a cold or nothing. So anyway,
count your blessings.
Yeah,
so that,
definitely. Yeah, definitely. So Joe, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you guys.
We appreciate you.
Seeing you next week.
Yes, definitely so. It is 7:49 on the Get Up and Go Show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for news brought to you by St. Lucie Jewelry and Coin. Bonnie standing by with the headlines. Good morning, Bonnie.
Good morning, Evan. A Vero Beach man is accused of pouring gasoline on a property and setting a home on fire with a blowtorch, according to the Indian River County Sheriff's Office. WPTV's Ryan Hughes was at the home last night and has this report.
That's right. She is thankful she was not home at the time, and she tells me her daughter's boyfriend is the one now being accused of using a blowtorch to set this home on fire. Take a look. Even in the dark, you can see there is extensive damage. The windows have been blown out and the side of the house just completely charred. Investigators say the suspect did all this knowing that a dog was inside. But tonight, that owner telling us she is so thankful her dog was saved. More than 24 hours after being rescued and pulled from this burning home, 14-month-old Rusty is keeping guard in the front yard as his owners try and salvage anything they can inside.
It's just been a nightmare. Pure hell.
Sandy Underwood and her fiance have called Caribbean Circle and Vero Beach home for years. But Sandy says on Tuesday afternoon, when they left to get a tire fixed for their truck, her daughter's boyfriend, Travis Pippin, snapped and set the house on fire.
They've not had a good relationship, and he wasn't allowed on the property, which made him mad. It just escalated, I guess, to this.
Investigators say Pippin poured gas inside the garage and around the carport, then set the home on fire using a blowtorch, knowing Rusty was still inside.
Why did you burn that place down?
They also say Pippin was caught on video by a neighbor.
When I came up the hill, I seen a big old fire.
Neighbors tell us they raced next door after seeing the home engulfed in flames.
I busted the windows out in the back of it, back of the house, because I didn't know there was anybody in there because I seen the vehicles there.
Sandy says the home was filled with family memories. They were able to save a few pieces of furniture, but the house itself is a total loss.
The house was full of mementos from his mom and dad, his deceased son, my mom and dad, both my deceased brothers. One day at a time is the way we're going to have to take it right now.
And the sheriff's office says a neighbor tried to stop Pippin, but we're told he is also accused of trying to throw gasoline at them. A canine and its handler were from Sebastian police were able to track him down fairly quickly. Tonight, he is facing a long list of charges, including arson and animal cruelty. Ryan Hughes, WPTV, News Channel 5.
Carol Jenkins Barnett, a philanthropist and daughter of the founder of Publix Supermarkets, has died after a battle with younger onset Alzheimer's disease. She was 65. The Florida-based grocery store chain said in a written statement that Barnett died Tuesday in her home surrounded by family members. Barnett was the former chair and president of the company's charity operations. The daughter of Publix founder George W. Jenkins Barnett was raised and born in Lakeland. She began working with Publix in 1972 as a cashier in her hometown and later worked in the company's corporate marketing research and development department. Fans of Jimmy Buffett, known as Parrot Heads, can soon take the party to the high seas.
Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville has become a lifestyle brand with clothing, resorts, and home decor. Now the company is expanding and buying a cruise ship. Margaritaville at Sea will take over the Bahamas Paradise Cruise Line. The ship will undergo dry dock renovations and upgrades, but will sail under its new name next year. Margaritaville at Sea will continue 2-night sailings from the port of Palm Beach to Freeport on Grand Bahama Island. I'm Rory O'Neill.
NASA is launching a new X-ray telescope to study black holes. The satellite blasted off from Cape Canaveral at 1 a.m. Eastern Time atop a SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket. A scientist says the mission could help them understand how black holes and other remnants of exploded stars produce X-rays.
3, 2, 1, 0. Ignition. Liftoff. Go Falcon. Go Hunting. ISPE.
And lastly, the governor is celebrating what he calls another milestone in Florida's efforts to protect its coastal and inland communities. Ron DeSantis announcing the first ever statewide flooding resilience plan. He says it consists of projects that will enhance Florida's efforts to protect inland waterways, coastline shores, and coral reefs. Big 12 Commissioner Bob Bowlesby said Wednesday there have been preliminary discussions with the NCAA's Football Oversight Committee and in coaching circles about possibly changing the early signing period for recruiting. Bowlesby, a former chair of the Oversight Committee, said the American Football Coaches Association also has started talking about shifting the signing period, which began in 2017 and allows prospects to sign with schools in mid-December rather than on the first Wednesday in February. News time is 7:54 with weather and traffic together next.
$7:55 right now on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for traffic and weather together. Bonnie?
No accidents that we're seeing on the Treasure Coast, but it's reported foggy conditions throughout some of the areas. A fog advisory up north on the Turnpike as you're heading northbound in Fort Pierce. To the south of us, too, I-95 southbound, right around Indiantown Road, Jupiter. Some kind of heavy fog down in that area, so just use some caution if you're heading out. That's your latest look at traffic. It's 69 degrees this morning in Port St. Lucie, 42 and partly cloudy in Norwich, England. Here's our weather at WPTV.
Your WPTV First Alert forecast calls for temperatures this morning in the mid to upper 60s and some patchy fog for the morning commute. This afternoon, highs in the mid to upper 80s, mostly sunny skies and feeling muggy with more humidity. Tomorrow, another round of fog in the morning with temperatures to start in the mid to upper 60s and afternoon highs in the low to mid 80s. A few passing clouds for your Friday forecast, but staying mainly dry and muggy. For the weekend, morning lows in the upper 60s to low 70s, afternoon highs in the low to mid 80s, plenty of sunshine and low rain chances. Monday, a cool front moves in, not much change in our temperatures, highs only down a couple of degrees, but lower humidity for Tuesday and Wednesday.
I'm WPTV First Alert Meteorologist Katya Hall on WSTU AM 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
If you have a suggestion for the show, we would love to hear from you. Send us an email to WSTUmorningshow@gmail.com. Now let's get back to the Get Up and Go show. Here's Evan and Bonnie.
7:59 on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie as we get ready to go into the news. We're going to play a little bit of Sarah Evans. This one's called At Christmas to get you in that mood.
It's my favorite time of year.
We're WSTU Stewart, Martin County's Heritage Station. The news is coming up next. Don't go anywhere.
Dining room tonight. A pecan pie, better warm it up. Bubbles are flowing, better fill your cup. Love and laughter up to the rafters, all right. There's no place that I'd rather be than with my friends and family, 'cause all the lights are so much brighter. Being with the ones you love by the fire, nothing
Coming to you live from Stuart, Florida, the greatest little town in the world. It's the award-winning, critically acclaimed Get Up and Go show on AM 1450 WSTU. You're invited to call anytime at 772-220-9788. And now, broadcasting live from their palatial studios, here are your hosts, Evan and Bonnie.
It's time for the Sugared Up hour number 3 for you and me on the Get Up and Go show.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about we're eating lots of donuts and chocolates on the radio.
What you talking about, Willis?
Like I told you, we're eating chocolates and donuts.
Don't even do that.
Okay, I won't do that, okay? I promise you. I won't do that. Time now is 8:08.
It's now 8:08 a.m.
8:08 a.m. on the Get Up and Go show.
Said the night went to the little lamb. Do you see what I see? Way up in the sky, little lamb. Do you see what I see? A star, a star.
Love her voice. Can you guess who it is? Give you a hint.
Let me see.
You want me to give you a hint?
Is that Leanne Rimes again?
Nope. American Idol.
Kelly Clarkson?
Nope.
Not Kelly. The Underwood girl.
Yes.
Carrie.
Carrie Underwood.
Oh, yeah.
Third time's a charm.
I guess so.
Yes.
We used to have a parody cheer to that song.
Yeah.
A cheerleading cheer, like when we played basketball games.
Mm-hmm.
We would say, "Do you see what I see? Do you see what I see?"
Right.
The score, high above the gym.
I like that.
Saying that Hurley is winning again.
I like that.
Thanks.
That's really cool.
Yeah, kind of like a little cheer that we made up back
I
in the
like
day.
that. I like that. Definitely so. So anyway, it's 10 minutes after 8 o'clock this morning, and I'm like at a loss for words this morning because I don't know what I want to talk about right now. Usually I've got tons of stuff,
Yeah.
but I'm at a loss for a moment. I had like a brain fart, so to speak. But
Okay.
I do have the top 5 elves that Santa doesn't like that much that I could tell you about.
All right. Well, let's hear that.
All right, the top 5 elves that Santa does not like that much. Coming in at number 5 is lazy. Okay. Coming in at number 4 is slacker.
Slacker elf.
Slacker.
I didn't know there was a slacker elf.
Yes.
Lazy, maybe. I never heard of slacker before.
Coming in at number 3 is clumsy elf. Clumsy.
He's raking all of the toys
Yes.
before Santa could deliver. He's stepping on the crayons.
Yep. Coming in at number 2 is worthless Wally. Worthless Wally. And coming in at number 1 is Big Sloth.
Big sloth.
Big Sloth.
Yeah. I wonder who's lazier, the lazy elf or Big Sloth elf or slacker. They all sound a little bit on the lazy side. So Santa's going to fire them all.
Definitely. Now, Bonnie, are you an eggnog drinker at holiday time?
Oh, I sure am.
Do you really?
Yeah, I like it with the whiskey and.
I have never tried eggnog.
Oh my gosh! Never in your life have you had eggnog?
Because I have this. I'm sorry, this is just me. I have this phobia about thinking that it's just
eggs, right?
It's raw eggs
Yeah.
in a carton,
Right.
and they shook them all up, and they put it in the fridge.
Not so.
And they sell it.
See, they're mixing those eggs with a little bit of milk and some cream.
Okay.
And the maybe a little bit of sugar, and the secret ingredient is the nutmeg, the nutmeg powder that makes it give it that good old fashioned eggnog flavor.
Okay.
And I enjoy the Bob Evans around this time of year, mixed with the
Okay.
Southern Comfort whiskey.
Good stuff,
It's
huh?
creamy and it's delicious. Mhm.
Okay. Well, since you mentioned whiskey, I have the top 5 signs that you made the batch of eggnog a little too strong.
Uh-oh.
And you didn't even know that I was going here.
Got to keep it away from grandma, right?
Coming in at number 5 They do not allow any open flame within 50 feet of the eggnog. Okay.
You're gonna have your torch lit in your
Exactly.
house.
Coming in at number 4, you serve it in a shot glass with 4 straws.
Oh gosh.
Okay. Coming in at number 3, NASA is interested in it, possibly to use it as rocket fuel.
Jet fuel, yes.
Jet fuel. Coming in at number 2, you put the stir stick in and it got dissolved.
Yep. Isn't that what happens when you put that stir stick in Coca-Cola?
Yes,
Too?
sometimes. And coming in at number 1, the last thing that you remember is taking a sip, and how you woke up in Spain is a whole nother question. So that's the top 5 signs that the batch of eggnog is a little bit too strong.
That's when you shouldn't even have eggnog. When you drink it the night before, you wake up and you say, "How did I get here?"
Yeah, how did I get here? Now, as we all know, a lot of people, and I'm guilty of it too, a lot of people like to use credit cards during the holidays to make it, simple and easy. But I have a list of a couple of signs that you're using your credit card a little too much these days. Okay. Top 5 signs you're using your credit card a little too much. Coming in at number 5, you get a piece of gum off the rack and you charge it. You charge the piece of gum.
Charging everything.
You charge a piece of gum. That 50-cent piece of gum could wind up costing you $10 by the time the interest accrues.
Yeah, and then if you're not keeping up on your bill, yep.
The last time that you put it away, the credit card was smoldering in your wallet.
Usually it's when you can't see those numbers on the credit card anymore either.
That's funny you mentioned that, because coming in at number 3, those numbers that you just brought up are completely worn down to the impressions.
Then it's time to get a new credit card, or maybe not if you overuse them. I try to rip up my credit cards.
Coming in at number 2, when you pull out the credit card, the sales clerk says, quote, "Don't worry, got it. Don't worry,
they know
got
you,
it."
and
They
they remember that
That's
number.
right.
You use it so many times.
Yep.
That's scary.
And lastly, you've earned enough frequent flyer miles to now go to Mars.
All right.
That's because you've used your credit card way too much.
Yeah. Yeah, I use it a little bit this time of year, just a little bit here and there, but I try not to overuse it just because it's the holidays. Because, I don't understand people where they overspend and they can't see beyond that holiday cheer that the new year is going to come around.
My dad taught me something that you're speaking about, and it's good. I'm glad you mentioned that. He calls it living beyond your means, is where you use your credit cards to pay for things, but you don't have the money to pay.
So if you see that Rolls Royce too, or that really expensive vehicle heading down the street, it doesn't always mean they're rich.
Yeah. And, speaking of holiday time, I've got some positive ways to celebrate the holidays to kind of get you in that mood. I found a list I came across as I was reading my favorite magazine yesterday in my office. And one of them is to decorate your home with memories of Christmases gone by.
Oh, okay.
So prior Christmases, decorate your home with good memories from Christmases that have gone by.
Pictures of people in Christmas past throughout the years.
Yes.
But you never know, that could strike up some bad memories, like if you had a bad Christmas.
Well, that's why you don't put you only put the good memories.
Only the ones
only
that are
the
good
memories. Yes. Another one is to bring someone a Christmas tree or give a gift to somebody that's homeless.
Yeah.
So just
give more. Maybe I thought about maybe you go to work in a soup kitchen. Maybe
volunteer.
Go to a church and volunteer and serve out some food. It's because we get so lost in the material things about this time of year. I mean, just kind of lost in it.
A lot of people can't afford a Christmas tree. That's why I'd mentioned, so bring somebody a Christmas tree. Just go out, spend $50, $60, get a tree and drop it off. If you know a family that's having a hard time, just take it to their house. And you don't even have to knock on the door. Just leave it at the front door with just a card that says, Merry Christmas.
That's a nice idea. Yep.
I think that's, or like I said, you see somebody that's homeless, give them a gift. Give them a little gift or something, like
Yeah.
maybe a gift card to a restaurant where they can go get a good hot meal
Mhm.
or something like
Just
that.
helping someone out in
Yeah.
general is, it strikes up a
Mhm.
good feeling, and
Mhm.
I think it gives you good endorphins
Mhm.
for doing so,
Yeah, I
and
agree.
you're shedding light on someone else.
I agree. I have a great life. I'm happy with my life the way it sits. I know you are. You're happy in your life. You have your family. Things are good for you. Things are good for me. And they say that every now and then we should always thank our guardian angel because we
Yeah.
always have a guardian angel looking over
I
us.
believe that we do,
Yeah.
and maybe there's even more than one.
I agree with you. Another way to celebrate the holiday is if you have a significant other, is to propose to that person, get married, or just send somebody some flowers
Yeah.
for the holidays.
Oh, I saw flowers, the FTD commercial.
Mhm.
They have a holiday commercial actually,
Yep.
and because then you say, "Oh yeah,
Mhm.
I didn't even think about sending or getting flowers this time
Mhm.
of year."
Mhm.
Usually, that the occasion is Mother's Day or Valentine's Day, Sweetest Day, which they have now.
Yeah.
Um, all of those holidays that you send the flowers. Sometimes
Mhm.
you don't think of Christmas.
Here's another pretty cool way to celebrate the holidays is to read your children a story. If you have young children, I know I can't exactly sit Gavin on my lap anymore, or Darren, Dylan, or Haley, or let them read a story to you.
Mhm.
I don't know if does Jaden enjoy having stories read to him? Does he like stuff like that?
He likes reading into the story, and
Does
he
he?
likes to watch the movie and
Dissecting
yeah.
the whole plot and things like that?
Yeah, he looks, at his computer, and
Love
it's
it.
all dinosaurs and
Mhm.
dragons with Jaden,
Mhm.
and
Dragons with Jaden. That's a book right there. That could be a story.
It could be.
I like
Yeah.
that. Here's another way to celebrate your holidays is just give somebody a kiss unexpectedly, or just give a random person a hug. If COVID wasn't around, I would say that. Another way is to dress up as Santa Claus, or even watch The Miracle on 34th Street. One of my all-time favorite movies.
And I never watched that movie in full.
Oh, Bonnie,
I'll
you
be
have
darned.
to.
I started watching it. Was it last year? I
Mhm.
watched maybe half of it. I
Yeah.
don't know why I didn't see the other half.
Yeah.
So something got busy there.
Oh, it's so good. It really is.
Yeah.
Such a great movie. They say that you should believe in miracles because miracles are closer than you know, which is really true. I do believe in miracles. I'm a believer
Mhm.
in miracles. Um, Here's another cool thing. Invite a stranger over to your holiday dinner, and that's guaranteed to put a smile on their face. Or somebody you haven't seen in a while, or
Mm.
somebody you don't talk
Mhm.
to very often,
Or
invite them over
somebody,
for dinner.
maybe somebody that that they're not going to have family or be with
Yeah.
family.
Yeah, they're alone this year, their luck is down on them or something like that.
Yeah.
Invite them over for the
Yep.
holidays. And put aside, if you have disputes, this is a tough pill for me to swallow. I'm not going to get into it on the air, but put aside family disputes or differences and just agree to disagree.
Agree to disagree.
Agree to disagree, whatever that means. I'm just reading what was in the fine
Oh,
print.
yeah. Yeah.
But more importantly, just put aside family disputes or your family differences. If you don't get along with a family member or someone like that, um, just kind of put it aside for the holidays and
Yeah.
spread some holiday cheer. And hopefully that'll put some smiles on your face.
Yeah, or if that family member is really disrupting you and your life,
Yeah.
put it away forever.
Yeah.
Just tend to your own family and
Yeah. Yeah.
work hard on yourself.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good
Don't let
point.
anybody else put you down.
I agree with you 100%. 100%. Excuse me. Let's do the precious metals report. It's brought to you by St. Lucie Jewelry and Coin. Gold opening up $1,777, 10 cents an ounce, and silver opening up $21.96 an ounce. That's precious metals report. It's all brought to you by St. Lucie Jewelry and Coin. 8:23 on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for news. Let's go right to the news desk. It's all brought to you by the Joint Chiropractic. Come visit them now in Port St. Lucie at the Shops of St. Lucie West. Here's Bonnie. Good morning, Bonnie.
Good morning, Evan. The Martin County Sheriff's Office is now facing a federal civil rights lawsuit. 14 victims of former Deputy Stephen O'Leary are involved in the complaint, saying they want more than just O'Leary to be held accountable for their false arrests. WPTV's Megan McRoberts with the story.
Just a week after former Martin County Deputy Stephen O'Leary was sentenced to 13 years in prison for faking dozens of drug arrests, 14 of his victims are prepared to take him back to court, this time filing a federal lawsuit against O'Leary and Martin County Sheriff William Snyder.
We filed this claim to really right some wrongs.
Attorneys Jordan Wagner and Lance Richard are representing the victims, alleging multiple civil rights violations. 5 of the 14 told us they spent anywhere from hours in jail, or in Bradley Martin's case, 3 months when he never belonged there.
He was facing a minimum of 3 years in prison with a maximum of up to 30 years in prison.
Bradley had laundry detergent in his car, but O'Leary lied and arrested him on charges for trafficking heroin.
A lot of disbelief. I didn't think it was actually happening until I was in jail.
Stuck in jail with a $500,000 bond.
My job was taken from me. My social life was kind of ruined, and I did not look great at all in my family's eyes.
Dylan Feltz spent 50 days in jail when all he had on him was headache medication.
I mean, at one point, the guy goes, "Hey, look, get this." He says that it's aspirin, not ecstasy. Ha ha ha. You're looking at 20 years, buddy. Ha ha ha.
The attorneys say the lawsuit aims to bring financial relief to the victims. Some, like Sam Palmieri, have spent tens of thousands of dollars rebounding from the arrest. But it's also to shine light on what they say is a more systemic problem in the agency and an environment that allowed this behavior to go unchecked.
I think if you talk to all the victims in this case, there were always other officers on the scene. They were all belittling or high-fiving each other when they would arrest these individuals. It was an atmosphere where this behavior was encouraged, where arrests were encouraged for promotion. You know, maybe his direct actions may have been an outlier, but the environment that produced it was not.
Sheriff Snyder released a statement saying, although it is not our practice to comment on pending litigation, I will say I stand behind the integrity and professionalism of my deputies. It is my hope that the community will recognize this case as outlier behavior and know that their trust in us is important to me and paramount to keeping our community safe. Megan McRoberts, WPTV, News Channel 5.
A jury in Orlando is recommending the death penalty for a convicted cop killer. The panel had earlier convicted Markeith Lloyd of the 2017 shooting death of Orlando Police Lieutenant Deborah Clayton. The shooting occurred on the first anniversary of her wedding to Seth Clayton.
I can't put into words what she meant to me. And to be taken away like that so sudden, it's hard for anybody.
The final sentence will be up to the judge. A woman has been arrested after breaking through a gate and driving through the Grand Harbor Golf Course in Vero Beach Tuesday afternoon, according to the Indian River County Sheriff's Office. The incident started shortly after 1 p.m. community of Vero Beach. The Sheriff's Office of the driver, identified as Jody Ann Harvey, age 60, of Vero Beach, drove through the Grand Harbor Golf Course gate and onto the course. Deputies attempted to pull her over, but she did not comply, which prompted a pursuit that ended with a pit maneuver. No injuries were reported. However, Harvey was transported for medical clearance before being booked. Authorities said Harvey's vehicle and 2 sheriff's office vehicles sustained damage. She faces charges that include aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, DUI, 2 felony counts of criminal mischief, aggravated flee, elude, and aggravated assault on an officer, firefighter, EMT. Harvey was booked into the Indian River County Jail without bail. A train belonging to Florida's higher speed passenger rail service struck and killed a man walking on the tracks just weeks after the company reopened from the pandemic. The Brightline train struck the pedestrian Tuesday morning in North Miami Beach as the man didn't move as the train sounded its horn, officials said. North Miami Beach police did not immediately return a call Wednesday seeking further details. The death is at least the 49th involving a Brightline train since the Miami to West Palm Beach line launched in mid-2017, and the first since it reopened last month after a 19-month closure due to the pandemic. A Brightline train on a July test run fatally struck a bicyclist. And a state ethics panel found probable cause Florida's agriculture commissioner violated the law by failing to initially disclose more than $400,000 in lobbying income while announcing a bid for governor. The Florida Commission on Ethics announced the findings against Nikki Fried on Wednesday, but a spokesman for Fried, who is a Democratic nominee for governor, called it nothing more than a political smear campaign. Evan Power, chairman of the Leon County Republican Party, filed an ethics complaint in June after Fried amended her 2017 and 2018 disclosure of financial interest to show she previously disclosed. When Aaron Rodgers last saw the Chicago Bears, he was telling them and their fans at Soldier Field about the power he held over them with his memorable "I Still Own You" boast following his touchdown run in another Green Bay Packers victory. Now, 8 weeks later, they're going to meet again on Sunday night at Lambeau Field. And when asked whether he expects any trash talking or retribution in return from the Bears players, he made a point to say he directed it toward the fans who were giving me the bird against the Bears, and is 22-5 overall as a starter against the Packers' NFC North rival. 8:30, our news time. We'll have weather and traffic together next.
$8:30 right now on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for traffic and weather together. Bonnie, what do we have?
Well, as I pull up the latest highway report, let's see if we're seeing any new accidents. We're not seeing any accidents right here. Just that fog advisory to the north of us on the turnpike. Southbound I-95 down by Jupiter. We've got a little bit of fog in that area. Just use caution this morning. There's your latest look at traffic. And we have 71 in Stewart under a mostly cloudy sky. And here's more on the forecast at WPTV.
Your WPTV First Alert forecast calls for temperatures this morning in the mid to upper 60s and some patchy fog for the morning commute. This afternoon, highs in the mid to upper 80s, mostly sunny skies and feeling muggy with more humidity. Tomorrow, another round of fog in the morning with temperatures to start in the mid to upper 60s and afternoon highs in the low to mid 80s. A few passing clouds for your Friday forecast, but staying mainly dry and muggy. For the weekend, morning lows in the upper 60s to low 70s, afternoon highs in the low to mid 80s, plenty of sunshine and low rain chances. Monday, a cool front moves in, not much change in our temperatures, highs only down a couple of degrees, but lower humidity for Tuesday and Wednesday.
I'm WPTV First Alert meteorologist Katya Hall on WSTU AM 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
You're listening to the Get Up and Go Show with Evan and Bonnie on Martin County's Heritage Station, AM 1450 WSTU. Now let's get back to the program with Evan and Bonnie.
8:35. And without further ado, it's time for our space report from SS Siegel Enterprises. Captain Randy Siegel at the helm. Good morning, Captain.
Good morning, Admiral. Hope everything's all right today.
Things are 10-8.
Okay, fine. Well, sir, the Pioneer Venus probe was launched on this date, actually entered Venus orbit in 1978. There were 4 probes that reached the orbit, and they were descended to the surface of Venus. One of those probes survived the landing and transmitted data for over an hour. You got to remember that on Venus, the pressure is extremely high on the surface. And then it was 2006 when NASA launched its STS shuttle mission 116. This was a mission that brought another power truss to the International Space Station. Yesterday was a great day for NASA and for Russia, as well as space adventurers. Yesterday was the day that Mizurkin, the Russian commander, along with Meziawa Harahara and Hayaharano, 2 paying customers, reached the International Space Station. They docked right on time in the morning, and everything has been working very well. They will spend about 12 days on board the station doing work. They're not just going to be space tourists, but they'll be doing work on the station. They'll come back on the 19th, and NASA will be following that mission completely, so you won't miss anything from it. On the 19th, they'll undock from the Poiset module and then land at about 10:18 p.m. in Kazakhstan. So far, the space adventure trip is working out very well. Russia is also getting ready for the flight of their only female cosmonaut. Anna Kokina will be flying into space in the fall of next year. Originally, she was going to go on a Soyuz vehicle, but it now appears that she will not fly the Soyuz, but will be part of a new barter agreement with NASA. And she will fly as the first Russian on the crewed Dragon mission, launching from the Cape. Russia announced their intent to fly a single Russian cosmonaut on every crewed Dragon, starting with Crew 5. They say that the Russians will not fly on Starliner until further notice. The Russians are concerned about the safety of their cosmonauts on the Starliner, which still has not been proven reliable, and hopefully sometime in the next year, they will prove that they too can carry astronauts into orbit. NASA will assign an astronaut to become a member of the third seat on an upcoming Soyuz mission. One of the perks that for being a cosmonaut will be a preferential mortgage. And that preferential mortgage will come in the form of a mortgage at 0.1% per annum. This would be the first time that the Russians are giving their cosmonauts a perk of this type for flying into space. They don't get additional money for making their flights, or at least any money that makes any sense. However, by giving them a preferential mortgage on their homes, a lot better for the astronauts than what they would normally get. China's private company, Galactic Energy, has launched 5 satellites into orbit using a Cirrus rocket. Also, in a delay, we know that Richard Strahan was going to fly on the Blue Origin vehicle today. However, due to bad weather, that flight has now been pushed back to no earlier than Saturday. So Strahan's liftoff is now scheduled for 9:45 Eastern Time from Texas. We'll follow that for you over the weekend. The Ingenuity helicopter made its 17th flight on Mars. In this particular flight, it executed a 614-foot maneuver that carried the vehicle high above Mars and then landed farther away. The mountains did cause a slight problem for that vehicle. Tomorrow, we'll tell you about a launch that took place this morning from the Cape, as well as additional happenings on the moon. So until tomorrow, have a great day, everybody.
That's Randy Siegel with the Space Report. He's on the program each and every weekday at this time. And speaking of time, it's time to go over to Ellie's Downtown Deli, where Bonnie's standing by with there's so many things on the menu. It would take a week to tell you all about it.
Right, and we have made it to Thursday, and what's more than all right on this menu is a tropical chicken salad, and it's topped with some oven-roasted chicken on a fresh mix of greens with fresh strawberries, fresh blueberries, raisins, some feta cheese, candied pecans on this, and toasted coconut, served with your choice of a dressing. Or try the hearty triple sliders, fresh rolls. They're topped with tuna salad, egg salad, chicken salad, lettuce, tomatoes, and sprouts. And Ellie's Downtown Deli has a full menu available for takeout, plus their fabulous desserts as well. They have a full-service deli with dining inside and out. Have them cater your next event. Call 772-781-6605 to order and pick up today. They're located at 18 Southeast 6th Street, just off Colorado and Stewart. Call 772-781-6605. Ellie's Downtown Deli in Stewart.
8:42 right now on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for news, all brought to you by St. Lucie Jewelry and Coiners. Bonnie with the headlines.
A Vero Beach man is accused of pouring gasoline on a property and setting a home on fire with a blowtorch, according to the Indian River County Sheriff's Office. WPTV's Ryan Hughes was at the home last night, has this report.
That's right. She is thankful she was not home at the time, and she tells me her daughter's boyfriend is the one now being accused of using a blowtorch to set this home on fire. Take a look. Even in the dark, you can see there is extensive damage. The windows have been blown out, and the side of the house just completely charred. Investigators say the suspect did all this knowing that a dog was inside. But tonight, that owner telling us she is so thankful her dog was saved. More than 24 hours after being rescued and pulled from this burning home, 14-month-old Rusty is keeping guard in the front yard as his owners try and salvage anything they can inside.
It's just been a nightmare. Pure hell.
Sandy Underwood and her fiance have called Caribbean Circle and Vero Beach home for years. But Sandy says on Tuesday afternoon, when they left to get a tire fixed for their truck, her daughter's boyfriend, Travis Pippin, snapped and set the house on fire.
They've not had a good. He wasn't allowed on the property, which made him mad. It just escalated, I guess, to this.
Investigators say Pippin poured gas inside the garage and around the carport, then set the home on fire using a blowtorch, knowing Rusty was still inside.
Why did you burn that place down?
They also say Pippin was caught on video by a neighbor.
No, when I came up the hill, I seen a big old fire.
Neighbors tell us they raced next door after seeing the home engulfed in flames.
I busted the windows out in the back of it, back of the house, because I didn't know there was anybody in there because I seen the vehicles there.
Sandy says the home was filled with family memories. They were able to save a few pieces of furniture, but the house itself is a total loss.
The house was full of momentums from his mom and dad, his deceased son, my mom and dad, both my deceased brothers. One day at a time is the way we're going to have to take it right now.
And the sheriff's office says a neighbor tried to stop Pippin, but we're told he is also accused of trying to throw gasoline at them A canine and its handler were from Sebastian. Police were able to track him down fairly quickly. Tonight, he is facing a long list of charges, including arson and animal cruelty. Ryan Hughes, WPTV, News Channel 5.
Pfizer said Wednesday that a booster dose of its COVID-19 vaccine may offer important protection against the new Omicron variant, even though the initial 2 doses appear significantly less effective. Pfizer and its partner BioNTech said that while 2 doses may not be protective enough to prevent infection, lab tests showed a booster increased by 25-fold people's levels of virus-fighting antibodies against the Omicron variant. Pfizer's findings, announced in a press release, are preliminary and haven't yet undergone scientific review, but they're the first from a vaccine maker examining whether the booster doses that healthy authorities are urging people to get may indeed make an important difference. Another busy night for SpaceX.
3, 2, 1, 0. Ignition. Liftoff. Go Falcon. Good hunting, IST.
At 1 a.m. Eastern Time, a Falcon 9 rocket blasted off from Cape Canaveral carrying NASA's X-ray spacecraft into orbit. It will study phenomena such as black holes and neutron stars. Fans of Jimmy Buffett, known as Parrot Heads, can soon take the party to the high seas.
Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville has become a brand with clothing, resorts, and home decor. Now the company is expanding and buying a cruise ship. Margaritaville at Sea will take over the Bahamas Paradise cruise line. The ship will undergo dry dock renovations and upgrades, but will sail under its new name next year. Margaritaville at Sea will continue 2-night sail Freeport on Grand Bahama Island. I'm Rory O'Neill.
And lastly, the governor is celebrating what he calls another milestone in Florida's efforts to protect coastal and inland communities. Ron DeSantis announcing the first ever statewide flooding resilience plan. He says it consists of projects that will enhance Florida's effort to protect inland waterways, coastlines, shores, and coral reefs. Tiger Woods said on Wednesday he will play with his 12-year-old son Charlie next week in the PNC Championship. The 36-hole event begins December 18th and is for major champions and a family member. Last year, Woods and Charlie tied for 7th. It was the last time he played competitively before his February 23 car crash that had him hospitalized and led to months of rehab for his right leg and foot. Our news time is 8:47. We'll have weather and traffic together for you next.
$8:49 right now is the time on the Get Up and Go show. It's time for traffic and weather together. Bonnie, what do you got?
Well, we're not finding any accidents to report, Evan, and that's always a good thing right here on the Treasure Coast. Everything moving along quite smoothly and including the turnpike, including I-95. Everything rolling right along. Drive safely. There's your latest look at traffic. And it is 70, cloudy sky in Port St. Lucie. Only 17 with a cloudy sky in Brewer, Maine. Here's our weather at WPTV.
Your WPTV First Alert forecast calls for temperatures this morning in the mid to upper 60s and some patchy fog for the morning commute. This afternoon, highs in the mid to upper 80s, mostly sunny skies and feeling muggy with more humidity. Tomorrow, another round of fog in the morning with temperatures to start in the mid to upper 60s and afternoon highs in the low to mid 80s. A few passing clouds for your Friday forecast, but staying mainly dry and muggy. For the weekend, morning lows in the upper 60s to low 70s, afternoon highs in the low to mid 80s, plenty of sunshine and low rain chances. Monday, a cool front moves in, not much change in our temperatures, highs only down a couple of degrees, but lower humidity for Tuesday and Wednesday.
I'm WPTV First Alert Meteorologist Katya Hall on WSTU AM 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
Let's get back to the Get Up and Go show. Here's Evan and Bonnie.
It's the most infectious time of the year. Noses are blowing and fevers are growing. I'm glad you're not here. It's the most infectious time of the year. It's the crappiest season of all. Forget about dining, the kids are all whining, they close down the mall. It's the crappiest season of all. No parties, no hosting, forget about toasting your friends for a happy new year.
It's a play off the most wonderful time of the year. Of course, we're talking about the pandemic in that song, with things closing and things not being open and this and that and the other stuff.
Fortunately, we are not going through that this season.
No.
I think the spirits are high and things are a little bit less chillier of this winter season.
Yeah, definitely so. Definitely so. What's the weather up in Wisconsin this time of the year like, Bonnie? Just out of curiosity.
Usually it's I think they're at and they're I think they're in the teens right now. Let me check up ups and that I grew up in.
Yeah,
So
I'd
if
love
I
to know what the weather's
look
like
up,
up there.
and we used to go skiing just 2 miles away at the ski hill. It's 20 above with cloudy skies.
Oh, that's not too bad.
Yep. And
I'd wear shorts in that weather.
we did mention Maine earlier too, was 17 above under a cloudy sky.
Wow.
But quite a bit of a difference when we're at 70 in Port St. Lucie.
What about
So
Anchorage, Alaska? Anchorage, Alaska?
I bet that's going to be around 0, I'm going to guess.
It's got to be really cold in Anchorage, Alaska this
yeah,
time of the year.
you would think 17 above, just like in Maine.
Oh, wow.
Uh-huh. So up there with the moose and the caribou and the elk up there in Alaska.
I wonder what the weather's like at the North Pole.
We'd have to
Way up.
We'd have to call Santa Claus and
Way
find
up
that
there.
out.
Well, I have Santa's phone number, so I mean, rumor has it, he may make an appearance here, possibly next week.
Really?
Rumor has it.
Does he have time to do that before his night around the world?
He may make an appearance here next Thursday. I'm just saying.
And will Mrs. Claus be arriving with him?
Possibly.
And maybe bring us some more. Remember, they brought us cookies last year. There were some good home fresh baked cookies that she had made, and those were solidly good.
I'm gonna have to pull some strings, so to speak. I'm gonna have to make a couple of phone calls. I have the special backline number to the North Pole.
Well, maybe offer to go feed his reindeer and water the reindeer for a couple of nights.
I'll have Phil do that.
Do you think Phil will have time to do that?
Yeah.
I mean, he got home from getting home from a graduation.
He's not home yet. He's still in Georgia.
He's probably going to be too tired to go out and do that kind of thing.
He was driving as we were speaking when he called earlier this morning.
Yeah.
He had just left Hotlanta, and he's heading back to Jupiter, Florida, where he resides.
And he was hoping to approach that Florida-Georgia state line.
Where I'm hoping he'll get me some oranges.
Yeah, he kind of indicated that wasn't going to happen, though.
Yeah, well, they have that welcome center up there, and the from what I hear, the rumor has it, like those welcome centers have like the best, like when you're coming into Florida, they have like the best creme de la creme of all.
Is that
fruit.
that like white plantation kind of building that you see on the side of the road right when you're almost getting out of Georgia into Florida there? And if you're heading south, I think it's on the left.
Yep.
There was like a big white building. Was that the Welcome Center?
I think so.
That I'm thinking of?
I remember way back in the day when I was a child, speaking of welcome centers, I remember when I was a child, way back in the 60s and 70s, when we moved to Florida in 71 or 70 with my parents, they had this thing in the city that I lived in, and it was called the Welcome Wagon. And it would come to your home with all sorts of gifts because you were a new resident in the city.
I remember that too. I remember I think the Welcome Wagon once in a while was advertised on TV and all that. I don't know if every city had the Welcome Wagon. Of course, I've never experienced it because my family and I never moved around when I was a kid. You know, we always stayed in one place.
No Welcome Wagon. Nothing at all. Okay.
I mean, I've heard of the Welcome Wagon, but like I said, I've never experienced it.
Okay. Yeah, they had all sorts of goodies. They would bring like cakes and little tchotchkes and just like all sorts of stuff.
Or the neighbors, sometimes you move in and a neighbor will walk over with something pleasant to give and, just welcome one another to the neighborhood. And I don't know if that's still happening anymore.
I just got a text message from Dr. Elmo,
You
the
did?
guy that does Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer.
Yeah.
And he wrote, "Hi, Evan. This is Pam, Elmo's wife. It's great to hear from you. Happy holidays. Elmo and I are in Costa Rica. And so this year, he is not able to do any interviews. I really appreciate you thinking of us. Have a happy holiday season to all of you on the radio."
Oh, I remember they were Elmo and Patsy, right?
Yes.
Elmo and Patsy. Did she perform on Grandma's Got Run Over? Because I remember reading that on a record. Not only Elmo, but it
Not
was
sure.
Patsy, and that's his wife, Patsy, that just wrote you.
Yeah, her name is Pam. No, it's Pam.
Pam. Oh, Pam. Pamela. Huh.
Anyway, hey, folks, we got to wrap things up here and get out of here because our time is up for today, but we'll be back in about 21 hours. In the meantime, if you have good values on the inside, you won't look for validation on the outside, right, Bonnie?
Yeah, and enjoy our friend Denny Artachi and our good friend Charlie next.
Yeah, that's right, folks. We're WSTU Stewart, Martin County's Heritage Station.
Don't wanna